Exodin, the resilient, the last of the Dark Divide. Let us begin our game.
You said not for long.
Let me try to summon you. We have a new player, Anton, as well. Fortunately, Anto found us. We'll kind of go around the table and do just a brief introduction of everybody's characters and stuff. Just to kind of get the juices flowing, so hopefully you guys can get a more clearer picture of everybody. I'll do a little recap, and then hopefully maybe Steve will drop in if he's got his coffee in him, because he's always kind of shown up late a little bit, and that's because he's out in Koreatown. Cool. You guys are in a place called Stormbrook. That's the city. The city of Stormbrook was one of the 4 ancient kingdoms of the Eludian Empire that fell before the darkness came, right? And a lot of turmoil has happened in Stormbrook recently. Exodin is a Kingslayer, defeated the previous king, Ian Parnish, who, according to rumor, was a mind flayer and a monster, slowly permeating throughout the city, evils and atrocities throughout the land. But in doing so, many of the acts to get to that point required, how should we say, a dark intention. Not everything was so noble, as Thomas Viggal was found and rescued, the true heir to the King of Stormbrook, as Ian was looking for him. But Exodin handed him over to Alarion, which is something we found out last week. And Thomas Viggal, as a result, was turned into a vampire spawn. We went through an epic battle, Sor. The biggest fight that no player should ever endure, that took 3 whole sessions. Players were being pulled off the bench left and right. Players were quitting the campaign left and right because it was such a long fucking battle. Nobody wanted to play it anymore.
You got yourself the majority here, so
I'm just fucking with you guys. We've been pulled in Smalry. Let's change his name to Orion here. Orion, a new character, a fairy from the Fey realm, found you guys also looking for Alarion, perhaps, or disturbances in Stormbrook. You guys have all kind of come together, but the Dark Divide itself is fractured, perhaps non-existent, as some of its previous players have left due to their own intentions, like Arno and Adeline. And now, with the fingers, they have left, and Arno is out in the world doing God knows what, Exodin, as you have let him go again. Another unescapable evil you've just let slip through your hands.
What the hell?
You were just on a terrible streak, man.
all in favor of OX being leader? We'll start killing humanity right away.
The Cardinal and Ox. Ox is a giant machine, half man, fallen to bits and pieces, worn out, bolts barely being held together. And you guys find yourself in the dungeon of Stormbrook confronting Thomas Viggal, who is a vampire spawn. Unfortunately, killing Alarion has not stopped the transformation of Thomas Viggal from becoming a vampire. But he is now the next succession in line to become king. And this is just the way of things, apparently. But he is a vampire spawn. No one will allow him to become a no one will allow him to ascend to the throne being a vampire spawn. Commander Mudteeth is sort of leaving the matter up to you guys because you were able to kill Alarion. And then, of course, before the Azul had died in the battle, drained and defiled by Alarion, and when we left our game off, Azul awakens and looks out with his vampire eyes onto you. Let's go around the table, though, so players can kind of just introduce themselves and tell us maybe a little bit about themselves. Ox, we'll just go around the table. Ox.
Ox is a warforged, standing from 8'2", slouching, and he's a war machine from the past who has been repurposed and reprogrammed to protect the Cardinal, Delia. He is made of mainly copper and steel. He is, extremely programmed to protect her at all costs from against all type of threats. He is now, once again, to protect the team, if the team still stays alive, they can better protect Delia. And at the moment, he is falling apart due to the immense damage he suffered from 2 large drops, getting smacked around by vampires, and the dumb decision of a certain ranger.
Who's now
What's
been
the
turned
one?
into a vampire. Sore.
Thor is a air genasi monk sorcerer that has very light, airy skin, very long hair that always looks like it's in the wind. There are these traces of lightning throughout his skin from his like innate magic. He's just holding a quarterstaff, and at the moment, he's just staring down as though he just saw eyes pop wide open.
Don't forget, he's a peasant too.
Oh yeah, he has peasant robes, apparently. It wasn't canon at first, but it is now, because they keep saying it.
Oh, I'll remind you every single time. You'll never forget.
Excellent. Chugger of root beer or real beer, we do not know.
Cream soda. But
Cream soda.
I'm a very large dragonborn, blue dragonborn paladin that was exiled from his home city as a previous aristocrat for killing his dad. Then he became a slave trader for a while being pretty apathetic about it, and then kind of had a change of lifestyle in recent times and become a paladin of Matel, the god of forgiveness, as he toils with that.
He's gonna need a lot of forgiveness after what he's done now.
The hour is
Forgetting
late.
something, accident. You're forgetting that you have recently broken up with a vampire queen that you had tried to run away constantly, and you had several cease and desist orders enacted on her. She didn't want to listen, and she pretty much just manhandled you to the point where you almost died.
I don't waste my time with rumors.
Rumors. Oh, also, you're going to be the next king.
All hail King Accident. Orion's up.
So, unlike the rest of the party, Orion is not large. He is extremely small. He's about a foot tall. He is a fairy wizard. He hails from the Deepwood Vale, of which he is a guardian. And he has come out from the Vale and stumbled onto the ongoings with Stormbrook. He came out to see if the darkness had passed. Obviously, it has not. When he came out to see what was going on, so he could help better protect the Vale from anything that might be coming its way, and found this group in the middle of a fight with the vampire and decided to assist, and has been tagging along since.
Amazing, Orion. And our last and new player, Anto.
Okay, so Anto is just a mercenary who works for gold.
Another one.
Well, gold makes the world run, no? But still, more so than gold, he just wants to be like a free spirit, like doing what he wants, whatever he wants, with not much care for others. But is a good soul in some aspects. He can be tricky, but also he's very direct. He can't lie that much. He will just speak the truth. So no conversations from this guy, because he will tell the truth no matter what it is, be it good or bad.
Did you fight in the arenas, Anto?
I fought in not much of an arena, but it's more like in jobs outside in the wilds against enemies.
So more like you are a mercenary in the Great War?
Mm-hmm. In the Great War, I didn't participate much in the Great Wars, but it's more like the stragglers that walked around, thieves and stuff like that.
Maybe a highwayman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Precisely.
We're going to start off. We're in the dungeons of Stormbrook, like I said, in the castle of Whitehaven. And Azul's eyes open up. And since Azul is not here because he wants to help out someone at work, I will be playing him.
Make sure you try to eat gold and blood as well.
But
he considers eating blood, but he mainly wants gold.
you see him arise out of his position as he starts to like come up. There's a little bit of miscommunication. We thought Exodus ran out with him from the dungeon to the inn, but I wanted to kind of have a cool scene with Azul as we were ending the session, and I railroaded him.
Yay!
But I have him here. Azul wakes up. He was covered in bruises and cuts, sore, as you're kind of leaning over him. Those bruises and cuts begin to slowly heal across his face as you look into his eyes, which are now gleaming. And he's like, did we kill her?
Yeah, they killed her. I tried getting your body out in time for the church, but we didn't have time. You were already defiled.
What happened?
I don't have like a mirror on me or anything, but your eyes are glowing.
He feels the bite marks on his neck slowly begin to heal. And he's like, what's wrong? I'm not breathing. I don't feel my chest going up and down.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that anymore. You
Accident,
are
what's
a
going
vampire.
OX is gonna lift up his glaive as he mutters, "Exterminate vampire spawn.
Yourself back.
Detected."
Your recklessness has finally costed you. But we have a way to fix this if you're willing.
Something, I don't feel so good. Accident rolls a d20. If he rolls a 15 or higher, something bad happens.
What?
Ooh, here he goes.
A good roll is bad?
Yeah, 15 or higher is bad.
He's gonna taste blueberries.
He like squints his eyes really hard. He's like, ah! And you see his fangs come out a little bit. I'm so thirsty.
I will.
Oh, boy.
You said it's a gallon of blood he needs every day. Was that what you said last session?
You open the manual up as Delian looks down at it, and Delian is not here either. Surprise, surprise. Delian looks down at the manual and is reading it and says, that's what it says here. She looks in the manual you found in Ian Parnish's study.
Well, I will cut my wrist and hold it out to Azul.
Oh, no, hold on. Not before that.
Before he does that, he cuts his wrist. Azul lunges onto him and takes a drink of the Exodin. You just hear a slurping, Exodin. Exodin takes, I'm going to roll a d6.
We worked.
You take 1 necrotic damage. He's still sucking, though.
I was going to say we shouldn't let him drink blood so he doesn't have to taste for it. He just makes drink thirst. Won't kill him.
Thomas Viggal is in the chamber and he says, see, I told you all. This is all evil, and it's all thanks to Exodin. He's the one who
you're in jail.
OX is going to turn to Viggal. You vampire spawn. Keep talking, and I will exterminate.
In the name of the king, arrest him. He points to Exodin. What does Orion do?
Orion's just floating around watching this whole scene, deciding what he wants to do. He hasn't taken an action yet because nothing requires it.
Okay. Exodus takes another 3 necrotic damage.
I use my mage hand to cover the king's mouth.
Exodus takes a final 6 necrotic damage as Azul's thirst has finally been satiated. This is evil. See what you did to me, Exodus. You did the same to your friend.
I'm going to use my mage hand to cover his mouth.
I was about to throw my
He
blade
just kind of
back.
like backs away, from the... I have the cage out here, as you see this, in the dungeon. He like kind of backs away. He's like, how dare you assault the king?
You
Oh my
are
God.
no king. Vampire spawn.
How you
And
doing, Azul?
what are you asking about, Azul?
Oh, just how he's doing.
I feel better. I can't believe it. I failed.
Relax.
He looks down at his hands. Now no one will ever let me be the king of the Deepwood.
We'll fix it.
Commander Mudteeth kind of
Exodus.
comes out there. He's coming through the door a little bit. And he says, everything okay? Commander Mudteeth is the head of the guard.
It's fine.
I have a visitor that has taken some interest. And he's been looking for the Dark Divide at this hour. You heard about the commotion earlier. Anto?
Yeah.
Anto
Excellent.
Hold on, Anto joins the group.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess I'll introduce myself. I'm looking for a group of people, of individuals that have been causing a commotion that is to my liking. Is it you guys?
What does Anto look like? You described your backstory, but not what you look like.
Oh yeah, so it's just a regular human, like no descriptive features, nothing besides a scar in the eye, and that's about it. It's just a regular human. It's a mercenary that you can see that you can just confuse it with another person.
Color hair, eyes.
Black, and the skin is just brownish, like bronze, with the clothing's like leather, like a simple cloth of a peasant, leather gloves, leather boots, and just a regular longsword. Is the most simple character you can see.
Sorry, it's not us. Next door. Yeah, they should be in there.
We need every fighting man we can have around here, Saul.
Hey, as long as I get paid, it's all good.
Since we have
Alex
no,
is going
since we have no
to try to
king,
get
sorry, go ahead, Ox.
Alex is going to try to get Exodus' attention. He is a vampire spawn. You say you can cure them.
The commander
What
looks
if
at that. The
you
commander looks and
can't?
sees, as Ox is just kind of talking, the commander looks and sees Azul as a vampire spawn, and he says, there's one of those monsters.
Keep calm. He still has himself.
He's been turned.
He calm self. It's like OX is like he's still pretty damaged. He will be experimented on to find cure for your king.
The commander's like a little taken back, and Exodus tells him to go away. He says, okay. And he goes back into the other room.
As I was saying, if it does not work, what then?
We're going to be testing on Thomas, and then we're going to be doing Azul.
I will have nothing of the sort, Tommen says. I will not let this monster named Exodus touch me.
Oh, I won't be participating. I'll be simply observing.
Anything you touch dies. And whatever you
You're
go,
already
death is sure
dead.
to
Part of
follow.
it.
OX is gonna place his damaged hand on top of Exit and look at Thomas Viggal. Function still active.
Remove your function, as we need him alive.
No, he's proven to Thomas that everything he did and touches is dead. Ox is touching him. He's still alive.
Oh,
You want Delia in danger. If not, does not work, I will exterminate both vampire spawn. Delia's safety is important.
Ryan
We cure this.
looks at at Thomas inside the prison cell. Says, "Seems to me you don't have much choice in this, unless you just rather die."
Well, like your friend said, he points to Sor, I'm already dead.
Do you want a chance or not?
We'll try it on him first.
No.
I don't believe that's an option for you.
So you'll take it by force?
I'll just kill you anyway if that's what you really want.
You have a choice, not multiple choices. And
You
the
already-
choice is, do you want to be a vampire, or do you want to and die, or do you want us to try to bring you back?
I want
Those
to
are
be-
your choices.
As any good man, I'm a pragmatist. As any good king should be. But he is a king
You
slayer.
are no king yet.
I used to think that about you, Tom, but as these last few minutes, I see you just like any other noble.
And what are you, a king slayer and a murderer who hangs with rogues and thieves? You should be
Shall we
hanging from the
get on-
gallows.
I'm in no denial about it.
Wait a minute.
I
Shall we
look
continue to
towards-
point fingers, or shall we get on with this and see if it works?
I look towards Exit and like, should we just knock out Thomas and do what we need to? What do we need for the ritual?
Some gemstones.
Gemstones? I can go get some gemstones.
You look over at Azul. What sympathies this person had with the living are long since departed now. His skin is too pallid, his hair is too limp, his eyes are hungry, and teeth far too long. The body play acts at living while the soul within revels in death.
OX is going to say one more thing to Exit. As he pulls up his arm, grab onto a copper wire, like a pipe, and tears it off from his own arm. Gives it to Exit. Tie up Azul's mouth.
You're gonna muzzle him.
Alright.
What are you doing?
Yes,
Azul says. He grabs his bow.
Simply preventing you from being a further liability to us.
Turning against me, Exodin?
I'm not turning against you, Azul. I am, in fact, greatly indebted to you for coming to save me. However, I can't have you going around town killing people.
He stows his bow away.
Simply restrains your jaws.
There's no need for that, Azul says. So tell them I'm fine.
You are definitely not fine. And I just point towards his teeth. Would you just bit down on Exodus' wrist?
I'm thirsty.
Most people drink water, wine. I drink apple juice or pear juice.
Diesel.
It's just your mouth, my friend. If you really have murderous tendencies, you still probably have claws or whatever.
It's a precaution to protect Delia.
Azul says, "What's the plan?"
We're going to experiment on Thomas, and if it works, we're going to cure you. And you won't have to be so thirsty.
If
Or
it does not
deadly
work,
to sunlight.
You guys restrain Azul.
we're just literally like muzzling him using bronze and copper wiring.
Okay. You put some copper wiring around and bind his mouth. Azul seems willing to be bound, but the rest of him, he's up and still moving. But he's
Yeah,
gagged.
it's pretty much to keep him from making out with random individuals in the street or the ferry.
Okay. You guys are in the dungeon, though, right now.
Yeah.
Now, apologies for the distractions. Who are you again? I look at Anto.
Like I said, Anto. Anto's the name. Fleming. You can just call me Anto. Fleming is a little bit too much. Mercenary. I'm a fighter. I hit things a lot.
And
Until
your
they're dead.
interest in joining us is
Amusement, and I find it is an easy way to get money.
easy way to get money, you say.
Well,
I'm
more
looking at
numbers.
Azul.
What's that?
I looked at Azul and there's just
Yeah.
recollection in my eyes.
Or will you be a hindrance to Delia?
Hindrance? No. Just point and I'll hit something. You want me to hit that guy over there? He looks a little bit pale.
Not yet. Speaking of that guy, Thomas, if we do cure you, what will you do?
Thomas, you ask Thomas what he'll do if you cure him?
Yeah.
It's the least you can do is return me back to being a man. For what you did to me. But what you have done, Exodus, your deeds, your crimes. We should have your head.
But you won't, of course, since the same man who turned you into this is the same one who will bring you from it.
Question to Tom. You are a vampire spawn due to accident, but it is your hand, not accidents, for the lives that were killed.
I did not kill anyone. I was trying to
You
escape.
did not kill them, but your actions caused their deaths. So, in that logic, we should exterminate you. As OX walks towards the gate with his glaive, eyes glowing.
He
Hey,
says,
Delian is here.
Yep, Delian's here. He's still kind of... Delian, you here, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. Just completely,
Good morning!
I don't know. My alarm didn't go off today, so.
It happens, my friend. We're just debating what's going on. Thomas says he does not want to be turned. He wants Azul to be saved back. Azul has been turned into a vampire. We made a roll. The roll was not terrible. And Azul drank Exodus, cut his wrist, and Azul drank from Exodus's wrist, and his bloodlust has been satiated for now.
But his mouth has been gagged.
And yes, they've gagged him with copper wire.
I'm going to put my hand next to his shoulder and say, you should probably be exiled, at the least. In all honesty, my friend. This is really bad.
Anyone's not going to stop OX. He has murder in those beady eyes of his.
Hey, just knock him out. We have to experiment on him.
Yeah, if you go with your weapon at him, I would stop you.
He kind of walks up to the cell door gates. You see Thomas's glowing eyes through the cage. Some torchlight
he's
flickers.
ready.
But he's just like, don't. In the name of the king. At least try it on him first.
I'm gonna be honest, you're not as important to us. We're really selfish.
You are no king. 20X3. Only mission is to protect Delia.
Bunch of rogues and thieves is what you all are.
Make your choice. Be human or be exterminated.
Maybe this is something you can understand, you bucket of bolts. The last time I trusted that man, or that dragonborn, I turned into this.
He will not turn human. Delia will be turning you human. Make your choice. Final request.
If I successfully am turned, I'll negotiate. You must then capture Exodin and bring him to justice.
We maybe just do, maybe...
Pretty much,
Take him
he's
out of the
lifting his
city.
glaive. He's already given the last choice. Yes or no?
The cell door is locked. There's a guard down here who has the keys. But you're pretty strong, Ox. You could rip the door off.
Pretty much, Ox is just grabbing the bars and just pretty much just bending them in his grip.
You fool, you can never get in...
What do you guys do?
Waiting for Delia's orders, as Ox is still in blender mode.
I go if I see him breaking the door cage, I would go to restrain Ox.
You see the Dragonborn's hand comes onto you, Ox. What do you do?
Pretty much, he's gonna turn his head onto Exodin. Eyes glowing. Vampire spawn needs exterminating.
Thomas, I suggest that you decide quickly, or else this is not going to go well for you. You can negotiate after this is done.
We're all pretty hurt. Pretty sure this metal dude could kill us and then kill you.
I'm already dead, like you said.
You ignorant dick.
You can be deader than you are now.
So did anybody roll persuasion, or were we just trying to force him to do
So I already
something?
failed my persuasion last week.
Okay.
Pretty much, you're gonna. Delia's the only one that can actually tell Ox to stand down.
Delia, you're busy reading through the book. Delian is the cardinal of Stormbrook and the cardinal of the land, really. He's a very high-ranking member of the clergy and a personal servant and champion of Ivona, the goddess of fire. He's looking through the manual that Exodin gave him. She is looking through the manual of the vampires. Basically talks about it as Ian Parnish was interested in probably determining to supplant Ilarion. You read through the ritual to actually turn a vampire spawn once the blood kiss ritual has been severed. You need to have 3 people perform the ritual. You need to place 3 items of note to call the spirit back to the body. And so each player has to make a skill check. And it could either hurt or reduce the chances of the spirit returning.
So what skill is this, or is it religion then?
It is a role-playing thing where you have to determine how it's done, and as a DM, I determine what happens.
So the items are actually nondescript. They're just what are significant to the vampire's past life.
It's similar to a resurrection challenge.
Okay.
Three players place items or a sacrifice of an item that is offered up to call the spirit back. and it's totally
So
arbitrary up to the
magic-
player. It's totally
Magic item.
then a skill check is then made from the player. The player has to succeed. There's a DC. If you miss the skill check, something bad happens. If you make it, something good happens. We add it all together. One final roll is made to determine if the spirit comes back.
Is the item consumed in the procedure?
Yes.
Okay. Does it matter what kind of item it is, or
Ivonia
is there any?
demands sacrifice by fire. Any item placed into the ritual circle must be burned and consumed.
But it doesn't matter what kind of item. Let's say like
It's
very
totally
expensive.
it's up to the interpretation of the player.
Going to assume an item of more value would probably
Okay. So
portray more importance.
I explained to the rest of the party basically. We, in order to perform the ceremony, 3 of us have to sacrifice an item of some value in order for it to be consumed and to restore the person back to his human form. Is this something you really want to do?
You can always buy items.
I mean, I'm willing to do it, but if we fail, I think the item still would be consumed regardless.
If there's a chance of bringing them back, then I'd say it's in our best interest to do so. We've kind of left this city in a hell state.
Is it worth resurrecting this Thomas so that he could be king? Seems you have enough problems with him already.
Honestly, he really is kind of a dick. I don't really know.
Then let OX3 exterminate.
Honestly, I'm starting to sway more on his side.
I call it Delian to Delian, I need you to restrain your bodyguard.
His hands already written, pretty much just squeezed the bars together.
Delian.
Okay. So
Accident, Delian, what say you?
I don't care what happens to him. I simply want to use him to ensure the success of Azul's.
So, Dale, you're not going to stop Ox?
It seems to be a waste to waste 3 items on Thomas, to be honest.
That was kind of my point. If no one's willing to sacrifice anything for Thomas, even the attempt as a test would be a failure. Could not be considered a failure. Could not be considered an inability for the ritual to work.
Yeah, I think it's just our bond with him isn't really too strong. I don't think any of us like him. I think we just fell outright. I think we have to be really strong emotions towards the person we're calling for.
what does Ox want to do that you? Why is Ox?
Pretty much,
freaked
he's
out?
literally breaking the gate. He wants to exterminate Thomas Thomas right now.
Okay.
I'm trying to hold him
Why?
back.
Why? That matters.
He's in Ox's mind or programming. He's going to be posing a threat to Delia,
Because he's a vampire.
and the cause of that is also he wants to exterminate Excellent, who is at the moment posing the best possible protection to Delian, or in your case, your character.
Yes, I say I'll be fine. Just relax. I mean, defeating Thomas is not nearly as difficult as it was the other person, Ilarion, I think it was. Right. So.
Well, OX3 starts billowing smoke as he's let go of the bars and takes 2 steps back.
Then why are you behind the bars anyway?
No, he's behind the bars. Thomas is. He's
Thomas
OX
is behind the bars.
trying to rip through the gates to get in to kill him.
Okay, so I tell Thomas it's time to proceed with this ceremony if you want. It'll take some time. There's no guarantee of success. Would you be willing to undergo the ritual?
You'll do it to him first. He points to Azul.
It'd be
That
really
wasn't
funny.
an option.
How many times do I have to tell you, even though you're a noble, I know it's hard for you to accept you're not more important than others, but you're going first. If we even do you at all at this point.
Absolutely not.
Well, then
Why
you're
are
free to
you?
Then
ride here.
you certainly made this decision a lot easier for the lot of us.
All right, we're gonna have to prepare this. Azul. Oh wait, you can't speak.
But how are you going to do anything if you don't allow us to do anything? Is there some risk that you're concerned about?
I don't trust him. Therefore, Cardinal, I barely trust you for hanging around with this thug and murderer and Kingslayer known as Exodus.
Well,
Ox once again grabs the bars and he's trying to push through.
I'll be
You know what?
overseeing
Go ahead,
the
Ox.
procedure. I'll be overseeing the procedure, but if you refuse, we have no choice but to destroy you, really. I mean, we can't allow vampires to run free. I mean, is this what you really want?
Make a persuasion roll.
Okay. Let's see what kind of roll we start off today.
That one. Let me kill him.
I actually
You'll
have,
probably
I
get
actually have a
kicked
pretty good persuasion, but natural 20, 28.
Oh, nice.
Damn.
Natural 20.
Do I get an
Uh,
inspiration?
You do now, yes. You also gain
Don't add
inspiration.
to it. You already got a natural 20.
Look.
You're shining on him. Ox is pissed.
I'm saying what's kind of happens is the Cardinal, with her gentle hand, goes on to Ox. Ox looks down at her, and Ox kind of steps away from the intimidation of the bars a little bit. And the Cardinal kind of steps forward and makes a valid point. And he's like, this is true. How am I supposed to rule the kingdom like this? You understand I couldn't control myself, right, Cardinal?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we'll have to trust that was the case.
Judging by Azul, I'd say it's pretty right. It looks like he's struggling with himself. And now he's literally muzzled. This is not the best state to be in.
He's one of the lucky ones. Sometimes the turning doesn't go quite right. Thomas says with some grin and gloom.
Well, that's the risk that we take, but it's better than staying a vampire eternally, don't you think?
Only one. I'll do it only one condition if you wish to try it on me first, Cardinal. Well, two conditions, actually. One is that Exodus may not participate in the ritual at all. I don't trust him. And secondly, if I survive the ritual, you immediately arrest him. Under order of the king.
I can agree to the first condition. The second condition, given his standing in this community and the fact that he destroyed the person that turned you, that doesn't really make any sense.
My sister died in his watch. How am I supposed to forgive that?
Am I aware of all this?
We'll make
Toss.
one correction on you, Thomas. Your sister didn't die by committing suicide. She died opposing Ian where you wouldn't.
That's not what I heard. I heard she jumped out of the balcony while...
And what you heard was a elaborate theatrical. She had died long before that. Her corpse was what walked the earth through Ian's magic.
In the
She
end,
died.
Thomas,
And you're supposed
it's
to
all
convince
going
me,
to be-
Kingslayer, that this King Ponish that I knew for such a long time was some hideous monster. I've seen no proof of that.
I don't need to prove it. I don't care if you believe it. I'm simply telling you what happened, and you can take with that as you will.
If you have any dignity as a paladin to fulfill your oaths, you will submit yourself to the throne.
I don't submit to any noble.
Yowzer, if you keep talking, we're never going to get the ceremony done.
Has he even been coronated as king?
Nope.
Yeah, that we interrupted the coronation, I think.
Oh, we interrupted it. That for sure.
Yeah.
Then it seems to me you're talking with authority that you do not possess. And you really should stand down.
It's all moot if we can't turn you back anyway. So let's discuss all this stuff afterward. But I can't agree to conditions that might not matter, right? If the ceremony doesn't go through properly.
And what then?
OX3
Say I
has
turn-
suggestion.
I do not care what a bucket of
OX3
bolts
means-
thinks. Be quiet, machine.
Well, actually, Ox might have a valid point, but okay. He's usually pretty good at neutral and not affected by emotions, most of us.
He is an instrument of war.
Well, he doesn't
OX3
lie.
restraints exiting. Take out of city. You fear exiting. Weak-minded. Weak body. Should exterminate. Delian request you to be human.
See, he's
If
jibbering
Thomas
and
talks
jabbing
anymore-
about something, and I don't understand a damn thing that robot is saying.
Why don't
His
you just
circuits are
agree
fried.
to the what?
His
Before you
circuits are fried.
antagonize everybody, why don't you just agree to the procedure and let's just do it?
If the next words out of your mouth are not, I agree, there will be no further words from your mouth.
Roll an intimidation
Oh.
roll.
With assistant, Ox's assistant, he's like standing there with his glaive always glowing. He really wants to exterminate the vampire spawn.
Are you proficient in intimidation, Ox?
Intimidation. Yes, I am.
Orion can roll with advantage.
I have a +7.
Fantastic. Can I give myself guidance?
Yes, remember the guidance spell only lasts it to be once a day or once per long rest.
Oh, with the new rolls, that's right.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't expend the slot to do guidance on yourself, right?
No, it's a cantrip,
Okay, just curious.
but I can only do it once a day now.
Roll an intimidation roll, please.
I can do it. I can do it by what do you call it? At will. So
You're supposed to roll with advantage, which means you right-click the button and then hit roll with advantage. It's okay. We'll do it again. And then you're going to add D4 to the roll because of the guidance. Roll a natural 1 on the first one. Let's roll again. Ha!
Come on.
How am I supposed to be intimidated by you? You rolled an investigation, but you need to roll an intimidation check. So you add +1 modifier to the roll. So you roll a 6 with advantage. Thomas rolls a 12, even with the bucket of bolts beside him with the glaive. He
That's
says,
+2, so 16.
well, no, because you rolled investigation. You need to roll intimidation.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. You rolled a 6 +2, 8. You didn't beat my 12. So Thomas is not persuaded by it.
Well, Ox is not going to be the persuasive type. He's lifting up his glaive to throw.
So as Orion said, the next words, if they weren't "I agree," he was going to regret it. So Orion casts Thorn Whip and pulls Thomas to the edge of the cage within Ox's reach.
Okay. Roll an attack roll as we attack the king.
Again.
Not King.
Oh,
Not
would
a
be.
king.
well, if you attack him, we might. Well, this could cause a legal issue. Okay.
He's not a king. He's just one prissy royal that tried to kill the capital with vampire spawns.
Well, I mean, I guess
14.
it depends, but
Missed by
if the
1. His
nobles,
AC is 15. He says,
if the nobles find out,
"You thugs!" and he goes off to the side. And
I'll
you don't
cast
see him.
again.
You don't see him anymore. He's kind of like hiding.
Pretty
in the
much,
corner.
OX is just tired of this. Delian, OX requests destroy a vampire spawn.
Wait. When you say you don't see him anymore, are you telling me he's turned invisible?
No, he's moved
And
off to the side, out of line of sight of you.
Oh, okay.
He's
Into the
just
corner
a
of the
basic. He's a basic vampire spawn. He's too weak to even both the
I
threat.
don't know what everybody's alignment is. Are we just trying to kill him just because he's not listening to us?
We've been trying to persuade him to go through with this. And Ox seems pretty hell-bent on killing him. And honestly, I'm not emotionally connected to him enough to care.
Well, I think he was about to do it until, we were more intimidating. And I mean, his two conditions, the only one that was a pain in the butt was the arresting. We could have, I'm sure he couldn't have enforced that.
The fact is, he's a vampire.
Pretty much, OX is following your orders, Delia, to exterminate the vampire spawn. You haven't given him any other orders other than stand down, and pretty much he's still following that.
Well, we're trying to turn him back to human, so if you turn him back to human, then you shouldn't be exterminating him. But regardless,
He's resisting.
then technically you should be attacking
Hey,
his rule as well. Then
Is he in a cell? If he's in a cell,
Yes.
where
I got
does
him
he have
back here.
room to? Okay, why can't I see this?
Because you can't see him.
He
No,
moved
I
back.
mean I can't see anything.
Oh, because you're probably
It
not.
says
are you in
waiting
the
on
game?
DM.
Well, because I sent out the summons and you were late.
Oh, okay.
He's right now out of sight. That's why you pretty much can't see him.
Don't blame me. Blame your own tardiness.
Anton, you're watching all this, and do you want to throw in your 2 cents into this?
I
tap
fell
on,
asleep.
Delian's shoulder. I say, why don't we just agree to it and lie?
that's what I'm saying. I mean, I just said let's go ahead with it, and then we can worry about it later.
Anto does not care about the whims of some noble or who the next king
Yeah.
is. He only cares about money.
Money is all that is important right now, and amusement of whatever's going on right now.
Well,
We need gems for
Delian,
we need
Ox
gems
is
for the
continue
ritual, right?
requesting the extermination of the vampire spawn. He's waiting for a reply.
Yeah. Stand down for a minute. If he persists in staying a vampire, then I'll let you loose. Okay.
He bellows out smoke, take 2 steps back, puts down the
I go-
glaive just right
I
beside
go
him.
closer to the bars again. Sir Thomas, you really have to let us do the ceremony. If you don't, then everything else is irrelevant. We'll agree to the conditions for now, based on the success of the ceremony.
Your friend attacked me. You hear a call from the shadows.
Yeah, he's getting a bit frustrated because you're not allowing us to save you, basically, which is...
And all we've known him for a day, you know.
You're
But I don't
either
think
an
it-
asset or an ally. You're either an asset or you're not. And if
Only
you're
a
not an
Sith
asset,
thinks in absolutes.
Only a Sith? Who's Sith? What's a Sith?
I love that quote. It's so fucking hilarious.
So let us
Next
do the
session we fight a
ceremony.
Sith.
Let us do the ceremony, and then
Delian
You
makes
can do-
one final persuasion roll. He can use his inspirational roll with advantage against Thomas.
love to reroll. Okay.
You want to use your inspiration? The inspiration
really
must
wanna
be
use-
declared in advance before the roll is made.
I don't want to use inspiration for this, but
Okay.
I'll just roll
It's up to you.
normally.
All right. You're pretty persuasive. I mean, you are a 14-year-old girl, so like you have like this welcoming demeanor. Did you
Yeah, I rolled a
receive guidance
13.
already?
Uh,
I do
I
not
didn't-
believe
I'll,
so.
ca- I'll cast. I'll cast it on him.
What spirit of the Fae do you call to help him?
Any Dorito.
I guess the rules are different on guidance. It says once per day on mine as well. Is that?
I think it's one character can be guided per day. It's not that you can't cast.
So
the
what
spell
happens
multiple
is you
times.
receive the guided status effect after you receive guidance, which means you cannot receive it again until a long rest.
Oh, I see. But I got 13. Is that enough?
It is not.
Unless he's
And-
really.
And then roll a D4 to it.
That
Did
is
you already do
correct.
that?
He needs to roll a d4 right now. I roll a 16. I roll pretty well with Thomas.
17,
Oh.
just barely.
Thomas emerges from the shadows and he says, "These are dark times, Cardinal.
Yes, they are. And let's just finish this before people get antsy and, I don't know, decide that they don't want to wait.
I guess there is no other choice than if I am to become king.
Let's worry about that after the ceremony.
Will you coronate me?
I don't really know right now because it's a bit of a mess. So let's go through with the ceremony first, and then we'll worry about the other stuff later.
I need
We'll
your
have to
assurance
have
that you'll coronate me.
We'll have a meeting of the nobles, and then we'll re-examine the whole thing.
I agree. We should meet with the nobles then and see what they want. Okay. I agree. You guys want to have Thomas? Do you want me to go get the guy? The guy opens the cell door up, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
What?
I
Oh,
think,
they're doing it right now?
OX is going to rip off the bars.
And he says, "Where should we go, Cardinal? Right here?"
Yes, I believe it doesn't matter the location. We'll just do it in the cell.
Cardinal sets it up. The hour
We
is
just need an
late.
item.
It's really late. I thought we would get some sleep.
I'm going to add 30 minutes to the timer as the Cardinal's setting up stuff. Cardinal, actually, I'll reverse that. I'll give the Cardinal a chance. The hour is getting late. So I'm not going to be that much of a dick. But normally you would have to start rolling con saves or face exhaustion as we go late into the night.
Let's finish this before the next day because he'll stay a vampire at night, and usually vampires get more powerful in the evening anyway, right? If I remember correctly.
You've read through the book, while we've been waiting here, debating this whole thing. There must be some myth that you've read in an old Irishman's tale. That is not true. Who is going to perform the ritual? Who is going to perform the ritual, and what are they going to use to try to bring Thomas back?
I don't have a lot of items, so I guess I have to use one of the crossbow bolts +1.
So what I'm trying to say, guys, is this is a role-playing thing. You have to try to... You will be given a moment. The moment then you use a skill check, the item you present is then sacrificed. It doesn't matter. The value of the item can be somewhat relevant if it is relevant to Thomas Viggal, as you're trying to call his spirit back to his body.
Wait a minute. Why don't we just use the crown?
Is it magical?
Ox says, let's use the crown.
Is
Interesting.
it magical?
Does not need to be magical.
Oh, it doesn't
It needs to be relevant to the person that trying to bring back. And this guy is dead set and trying to be king.
But
I'm tempting on exterminating him already.
But
and then giving the crown to the one who's thirsty for money.
If it consumes the crown, then there will be no crown. So he wouldn't be.
He'll get a cheaper crown.
He'll get one made of Ox's old ass cheeks.
The better question is who's going to do the ritual?
I guess I'll do the ritual since I did the reading. I'll go ahead and...
So Delian is number 1. Who's number
Ryan
2?
will help.
I will not allow Ryan to help. He attacked me.
Huh?
Because you were now willing to proceed. And if you weren't willing to proceed, it meant that you wished to be a vampire, and vampires cannot be allowed to live.
So, is your heart pure?
Yeah, pure enough.
I will allow Sor to do it. And, you, sir, what is your name? He points to Anto.
He ain't pure of heart.
You hit the nail right there. No, Anto's the name, and don't worry about me. Try anything funny, you'll taste my blade. All I can say for you.
Well, I would have your blade be in service of the throne. If they are able to bring me, if you're able to bring me back, will you serve the throne?
No.
The will of the king?
No.
I think
No.
I think it's better for some of the more experienced people with the clergy, like maybe Exodus, to help. To be
Absolutely not.
Quit stalling.
Fine. The bucket of bolts.
Okay.
God help me.
He's
Like-
gonna have to.
May Comey's have mercy on my soul.
Depends on the skill.
have
but-
no soul, vampire spawn.
Depends on the skill, but I guess Ox can do it. Sure. I'll say, hey, Ox, we need you to help with the ceremony.
What do you need?
I'll explain this stuff in the book, but I don't really know what skill we're using, so it's difficult to tell who's the best at it, to be honest with you. So
you
we'll do the
use a
best we
skill up to your interpretation. It is totally arbitrary on the skill you wish to roll on, but it has to make
Oh.
sense. The less it makes sense, well, you know the result.
Oh, okay.
So we
so
sacrifice the crown?
would it be the same skill for each person, or does each person select the skill that they're going to use then?
Each person selects their own individual skill and their own item to sacrifice and have it tie, and you're trying to call Thomas's spirit back to his body.
Okay. All right, so
Dalian
Sure.
sets up the circle around Thomas. Thomas sits in the middle of the circle. The circle is like a triangle. Each person sits at the point of the triangle. Around it is another circle. Each person sits around the circle. Candles are lit around Thomas. Thomas looks at Exodus and shakes his head as we begin the ritual.
Watch the side.
Dalian, do you guys want to start now, or are you guys still thinking about what you want to get and what you want to sacrifice? What you guys want to do. So I have Dalian, Sor, and Ox.
I'll sacrifice the holy symbol. I guess I'll have to replace it later.
Holy symbol of
Yeah.
Ivonia.
Yeah, and I'll use insight as the skill.
Okay. Sor.
Oh boy. I will use my spell gem that has Thunder Wave in it.
Orion hands Ox a ration, a day's ration, so that he eats this instead of blood.
And I would like to be doing ritualistic dancing for performance.
Okay.
I got something else to sacrifice on than a ration. A dispelling stone. Just pulls up and grabs on his shoulder, pulls a slot out, and just grabs a stone. And
You
he's
dispelled my spell gem.
and he's going to use intimidation as he's going to stare down this vampire spawn.
Do you really want to use something so valuable?
Standard issue stone.
Fair enough.
OX has one.
So be it.
Do you guys feel like this is the most relevant stuff to Thomas?
Dispel vampire spawn
Well,
cursed.
for me, it
Are
was
we
just
getting the
to-
crown?
It's just to draw the human back to the vampire. So for me, it was just basically calling on the deity. But I don't know. Crown doesn't really. It's not your item. It's his item. So I'm not sure if that works.
Well, it doesn't have to be ours. I don't.
That's what I thought it was. It has to be yours, and the skill is also arbitrary based on what you think is necessary to
It
revive
can be
him,
any
right?
item in the entire world of Zen.
Oh, okay.
Well, then we'll get the crown then.
Okay.
Who wants to use the crown?
I'll use a crown then.
Okay. How do you still want to use intimidation?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have Dalian up first. Dalian is around the circle. The fumes and aromas from the candles are lit. I add 30 minutes to the timer. The setup.
So we have to make a con. We have to make
No.
a con save.
I'm not going to be that much of a douche.
Damn.
Dalian is up first.
So I just roll, or
Thomas closes his eyes. He smells the fumes and he says, "I hope you know what you're doing."
yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing.
Roll deception.
Ox is gonna look at Delia. If not work, then Ox take care of.
Don't say that out loud. Anyway, let me just continue work. I just roll, right? I guess.
You have to role play it out.
I basically pull forth the holy symbol and I call upon Evonia. I say, in the name of Evonia, restore the spirit that once was and bring back man that is beneath the enchantment or the curse that is on him.
Do you want to use religion or insight?
I just used insight. It's actually better for me anyway.
You're trying to insight into the soul of Thomas, reaching across the planes beyond the material, searching for his soul. Something is wrong, Delian. You feel it. You feel
right.
out through the Shadowfell, and something is twisted. Something is moving. The fields of time and space are moving in the wrong directions. Sword is up.
Failed?
Sword is up.
Time for the interpreted dance.
Yep, sword will stand. And if it's all right with you, I would like to, in quotes, activate the spell gem as like this lightning starts going around the summoning circle. And I start doing ritualistic dancing. It's like some kind of weird voodoo. If it's all right, I would like to use my inspiration on for my performance roll.
Where did you learn this dance and why?
My father was a genie. He experimented with very strange magics. Every now and then, he would summon air elementals and earth elementals from the ground as well.
It is no
And
mistake.
I was young when I watched.
It's no mistake that genies possess great power to even twist the reality of the gods themselves, summoning their very presence of the air from across the lands. Could bring Thomas back, right?
Perhaps.
Roll with advantage. And the spell gem is wasted or consumed in fire.
That's a 23.
Okay. Finally, Ox.
Ox stands up with the crown as he places it over on Thomas's head. As his eyes starts glowing down, trying to pretty much intimidate the vampire's curse as to flee the territory or flee the soul. As Ox acts like he's always done, a large guardian.
You sacrifice something very meaningful to Thomas, the crown itself, a representation of the power of the old kings of men. The crown is consumed in fire. You can roll with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
It's very meaningful to someone like Thomas.
5. Right through the
Everyone
crown,
roll.
his eyes just start glowing.
Every roll is successful. It makes the challenge easier. Let's look it up. One final roll is made. Which player wishes to make the roll? Orion, Exeter, or Anto?
I'm just observing.
Orion.
I'm dozing off.
Orion
Come on,
makes
accident.
Orion makes a d20 roll to determine if Thomas Viggal comes. What happens to his spirit? Roll a d20, Orion.
I'll fail. We kill him.
Orion, you there,
Anto
buddy?
can take up and melt the crown.
I think Orion is like AFK or something. He's listening to his
Sorry, say again.
podcast. Orion rolled a d20 to determine if Thomas Viggal comes back. His spirit from across the plains. Soar, maybe he's in the crown itself, and the sacrifice of the very symbol of Delian is something powerful enough to draw it back. Orion makes the roll. A 19. The DC was 1. So he's able to come back. Thomas is racked with pain as his spirit is being forced back through the power of the genies. Some wish is being performed. The spirit and the wind surrounds Thomas. An eruption of fire and smoke and air swirls throughout the prison cell. Thomas screams. Exodus rolls a d20 to determine if something else happens. If he rolls a 10 or lower, something bad happens.
Come on, demon.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yes! Demon!
Someone's looking for an excuse.
Yes, I am.
A natural 1. Thomas
I almost
screams,
text you so you would mess up.
I don't see him. I don't know. And the feeling that you have, Delian, about the twisting of souls. Thomas dies. He's permanently dead.
Oh, great.
Fuck.
That's just great.
Takes my fun away.
Oh, jeez.
Ah!
Azul, you still out there? Don't be looking at this.
I'm gonna look at Azul. Your turn.
Let's consider this a really bad experiment, and
The next
now we
one
know
will be
what
better.
now we know what might happen to Azul if we do it.
Something is wrong, Sor. Something terribly wrong. You felt the spirit of the genies there. Something even a wish wasn't able to even stop. His soul is lost forever.
Oh boy.
Well, that book was pretty useless, I say.
I don't know if it's the book.
Delian Delian questions the book, but he tries to put it together. Delian makes a history or an insight or an arcana roll.
I
I'll
will
use
assist with the Arcana.
Well, if he
I'll
wants
use
to
it.
roll it.
I'll use insight because I have a +9 with insight. There's no point
Okay.
with Arcana. Natural 20, 29. It's either
Dylan,
a natural 20 or 6.
You think about that as you look down at the book and you're like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. You did everything right. The spirit, you look down at the symbol of Ivonia in your hand, it crumbles to dust.
Yeah. I'm like, damn it, I did everything right. Why didn't it work? Why didn't it work?
He was
Throw a
weak.
tantrum.
Oxy just looks at Delia, just like puts his hand on her shoulder. He was weak. Weak mind, weak body.
He was also a king.
He
Yeah, but
was
now what
not
are we gonna
a
do
king.
if we have the
He
same
was
results on
a
Azul?
fool.
If we have the same results on Azul, then it's over. I mean, he's dead. Basically, we're better off killing him.
I mean,
DM, did we find out or figure out why this happened?
No.
Ox already told you, weak mind, weak body. He's made of flesh.
At level
Well,
9,
it does resolve
it
one
just had to-
problem.
There's no help.
fears something. Aren't souls in the astral plane? Isn't that correct? Or
Yeah,
is that
that's
something
something
else?
over there. Tried to snack on him. Got his meal.
Something's feels like something's warping the soul.
Is this anything that Orion, with his arcane knowledge, would know anything about?
Maybe it's why he's here.
Can I make an arcane check to see if I can figure out what happened?
Yeah, go ahead. Natural
29.
again. You see what
Oh,
you kind of
good.
you kind of see what Delian sees. Something is just terribly wrong. Everything was right. You felt the power of the djinn, even in the room itself. Magic beyond measure is at work here.
Can I sense the source?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, coming from Ox's hatred.
You've tried to tune into the Feywild. You cast no spells or something. The air in the dungeon feels calm and still. The ashes of Thomas are vaporized as his vampire body turns to dust.
Well, since that didn't work, it probably won't work on Azul. So, what do you want to do with Azul now, then?
We should not give up. Try on Azul. Make Ox's job easier.
I'll put on the crown for Azul. Crown of the elves. Or should I put on the hoodie for him, guys?
Hoodie.
The hoodie is the crown.
Okay.
He ain't king yet.
He's never going to be a king now. He's either going to die or be a vampire.
He'll be king of the
Azul
Underdark
is
if he
gay.
wants to. That's the thing.
And you gotta be leaning forward with your hood up.
Alrighty.
So Hoax looks at Exodus. Do we try on Azul?
It's likely Thomas was cursed.
Or
Bound to fail.
weak of flesh?
I'll
Azul's
leave
just
it up
weak
to
of mind.
Azul.
Azul is the gun ho type, so maybe. Let's do it. Or we
I'll
can try it on
remove
Antun to see
I'll
if
remove the
it's a
binding
curse.
from Azul's mouth.
You take it off, he looks at you, Exodus, and he says, I'm scared.
I understand. But it's up to you. I'm not going to sway you one way or the other.
Orion said everything was supposed to work, and so did the Cardinal. What hope is there for me?
You don't have the attention of Ian or God King Rizu as they may have had on Thomas.
I have a suggestion. We may need to rest. Let him decide.
It's probably not a bad idea.
Feel wide awake. But I'll do
Well,
whatever
yeah,
you want,
'cause you-
Exodus.
You're a vampire. It's nighttime. You know how it is.
I definitely think we should take a rest on this one.
OX needs repairs. You need somebody to put them together. Come on, Exodus, whip and pull up that hammer.
Where should I go, Exodus? What should I do?
Well, you could come with us to the inn and you can stay there during the day as we go about trying to figure out what may have befallen Tom.
What if someone finds out I'm, a monster?
Well, who's gonna tell?
You'll just stay in the room, close it up, buy it out for the day.
Okay.
The only thing you have to do is just stay there.
He looks into the prison cell. He's like, it's not safer in here.
If you're okay with going in the prison cell, then it's probably for the best.
So we should keep eye on him.
He says, on second thought, I'll come with you.
All right. We'll go to the inn.
Final
try-
disrespect. OX is gonna stomp on the Thomas's ashes as he's walking out.
Why
He was
would you do
a
that?
pitiful meat bag.
You guys
We're
want to
gonna
go rest
replace-
in the inn?
We're gonna replace them anyway, but this isn't the way we're gonna do it. But
Yeah, with Lord
Makes sense.
Exodus.
Orion takes a small glass vial and starts scraping the ashes into the vial.
OX is gonna look at Antu. You want to be part? Then you must protect Delian.
Who's Delian?
He plays his hand on the small child.
I'm Delian. Hi.
I'll try.
No, try.
So are you expecting payment from us, or are you simply going to just be working on commission?
So we're gonna get some rest, right?
Yeah, we're heading to the Anvil while
Yeah.
communicating with the new guy, the new gopher.
Yeah. If I find gold, we find gold. Then split it in between the party, maybe. If you want to pay me, I won't mind.
OX is gonna take literally just open to the pouch that's around his stomach, his midsection, pull out 80 gold coins and just drop it onto his feet.
Don't mind me. I'll grab those. Every last one.
Payment accepted. Protect Delian.
Will do.
A mercenary? Okay.
Don't you go running off by yourself.
Oh.
So OX is going to separate from the party and head to where he can find repairs.
It's too late at night. It's almost midnight. You know, I have another 30
it's
minutes.
Fine. He's going to
timer.
stay in front of the. He's going to stay in front of the shop.
You kind of deactivate yourself instead of gears, gizmos, and gadgets. Run by Wilmer, the crazy gnome. The rest of the party heads to the giant bar.
Mm-hmm.
On the end of the giant bar, let me just change up some stuff, guys. Oops, sorry about that. Let's kind of change the music up a little bit. As you guys walk into the giant bar, you see a large sign. It's written in giant tongue. Does anybody read giant tongue?
No.
Nope.
Giant tongue is just giant language, right?
Yes.
Correct.
I can speak giant.
Really?
Then-
Delian the giant
Yeah.
speaker.
Yeah, I can speak giant. I have giant and infernal even. So
It's written
yeah,
in large,
let's go for it.
giant like letters with almost like a dwarven script to it. It says, "What can go wrong will go wrong."
Isn't that true?
Something OX knows very well.
That's pretty trite. That's what I say. Thanks for
Cardinal,
thanks for
I
nothing.
wasn't expecting royalty to be showing up at the inn at night. What
Royalty?
are you doing out?
I'm not royalty.
Yeah, you are. You are royalty.
I
And
am.
not Exodus. Exodus is just going to be the next king.
Yeah, see, where's Exodus? See, there you go. Saint, I've got a saint with me. I'm not royalty. I'm just along for a little bit of alcohol.
None for you.
Well, you're not there. You're not there.
Until
went to
you
the-
better
went to
do
the
some
gear
work,
place.
man.
You went to the
You
gear
got
place.
paid.
No. No alcohol for this little girl.
The dwarven lady, she says, "My, you all look like shite. What have
I'm
you
in
been
my
tonight?
usual room.
That's a compliment.
Blood.
You still have it on tab, accident, and you still owe me gold
Oh.
for the rooms.
Huh?
How
gonna-
much I owe you?
We'll just say 1 gold.
Wait, Exodus
Throw
should
one
be
gold.
staying for free. He saved the kingdom from a terrible vampire infestation.
I didn't save this bar as I throw the coin.
Oh, tall tale accident. Always saving the world.
With his blueberry scales.
If you don't mind, I'd like to pick up that gold piece.
She takes the gold piece. This gold piece, Cardinal?
No, yes, I'll pay for it. In other words, I'll replace it with my own.
She hands it back to accident, and Delian pays her a gold. Oh, the
Yeah.
church is getting a lot more donations. Thanks to Saint
Oh.
Accident, of course.
Yes, especially for the saint. Yes, anything for the saint.
Oh, I'm sorry. You haven't been inducted into the sainthood yet, have you, Lord Accident?
Oh,
Not yet.
She
That
says,
shouldn't take too long after I get another holy symbol.
"What about you, sir? You want a drink?" She points over to Anto.
I want a drink.
No. No drinks for you, princess. No. Yeah, I would like a drink, yes.
Not a
Because
princess.
you're going to murder a robot behind.
Let me
Waiting for
see.
it.
We have ale and more ale. What would you like?
more.
More ale.
More ale.
She
Not
points-
you.
She points to the ale. Just like a random keg. She like pours it to you. 1 copper.
2.
Oh, for she looks over at Delian for her.
1 for me and 1 for my stomach.
Oh, okay.
You're no fun.
You drink as much as a dwarf. She hands you another
Well,
one.
I don't have that much time, so when I can, I will try.
Oh, there's always time. You make time.
I look at the little girl. I don't know. My hands are tied. So
Well,
give me
at
those
least-
real quick.
At least the sanctions have come off and the quarantine has been released, right, Exodus? Not all is bad. Look at the bar is full. The sailors are back. Trade is
Why are we
flowing.
here? Are we trying to get rest? Or...
You guys want to go through a
Pretty
long
much that's
rest?
the
I'm just
idea.
hamming it up, guys.
I'll get 1L and then I will also call it a night.
One
And an
comma.
LL for you, Lord Exodus. You need to be bright and proper for your coordination.
What? We got. Hey, I'm just doing 1L, man. I gotta be hydrated.
There's water,
got-
holy water.
You got a cup of milk?
Not this hour.
I'm not drinking milk.
You have juices?
Orion orders a mead, and then pours it into a second glass and casts a minor illusion of a small or of a large glass of water, and puts the glass of mead into the glass of water, and taps Bellion on the shoulder and points at the water.
Yeah, he just want OX3 to kill Anto, huh?
Oh, great!
Oh.
Thank you. I
I
drink
Do
the
I
mead.
notice that?
I drink the mead happily.
Do I notice this?
You gotta roll insight. You gotta roll insight for this.
Who rolls insight?
He's gonna get murdered
I'm
right
a-
away by
I'm
a
a-
murder robot.
I'm gonna try to see if I can see this guy try to do that.
Orion
piece of,
rolls a sleight of hand roll, and then Anto rolls a perception roll to see it.
It's a minor illusion.
Yeah, it's just he wants to see you cast magic, right?
Get something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm definitely drinking the mead.
Orion rolls a sleight of hand roll to kind of stealthily, cast it and slip it off. And Anto rolls a perception roll to counter the roll. See, it's not all bad action, and the trade is back. Did you hear that
Things
terrible
are getting
rumor
better.
that bank downtown?
He's not making
Something
it.
happened to it.
Let me. Oh wait.
Sleight of hand from Orion is a 21. Anto, what did you roll for perception?
Where is it? Where is it? I know I have it over here
It's in
somewhere.
the middle of the
Perception.
character sheet. There you go, buddy. Plus 8. Wow.
28.
Damn.
Damn.
Anto, you put your hand on the mug for a galleon.
And I start drinking it.
Oh, good.
Mission failed.
You'll get him next time.
Yep. Sor, she hands you. You said you like the pear juice, right?
Yeah.
It's getting out of season, Sor. That's 2 copper.
We'll have to get rid of Anto, if that his name. We'll have to sort of put him to sleep or something. Anto, you're feeling sleepy, aren't you?
Nah, I can still keep going. You gotta go to bed soon.
Delia is finally released from that the nanny bot. Now she's trying to do everything she can. She's gonna start smoking, drinking, gambling, all the good shit.
Orion makes the mead smell like a skunk using druid craft. Enjoy, Anto.
I've had worse.
I'm sure he has had worse. That's the terrible thing. I don't think I have any spells left until we get a long rest. So
I've just been using cantrips.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, but
You guys want to go take a long rest right now? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Azul, of
Yeah.
course, just kind of went upstairs, exited, and kind of went to his room. Does anybody say anything to Azul before he goes to bed?
Exodus should be bunking with the Azul just in case.
I think
Don't
Anto
need to
should.
keep watch on
I
the
think
phone.
Anto should bunk with Azul.
The new guy's job.
Yeah.
Anto's going to be with them. Excellent. I feel
He's
safe
gonna
if
be
I
with the
slept with you.
vampire.
Azul says.
What'd you say?
Azul wants to sleep with Exodus.
Yeah, you can,
really?
you can stay in my room.
Oh my, with the pink shirt and everything.
Let's do actually a little scene between Azul and Exodus right now.
Okay.
It's late. Azul feels wide awake as Exodus feels fatigued. I can't believe
you should sing him a lullaby.
Exodus, I can't believe we were able to kill her.
Neither can I, honestly.
But, no elf will want me to be the king of the Azrai now.
That's why we're going to get you back to the way you were.
What happened? Thomas.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I think he might have been cursed, but maybe the book is entirely wrong. But I wouldn't believe Ian would keep around fake texts.
We're the last ones, Exodus.
No, we're not the last, but we've been around a pretty long time.
We're the last ones of the Dark Divide.
You're starting to sound like you've already given up.
I'm scared, that's all.
Well, don't be.
He's scared Nice Wallet won't come to hell with him.
I don't know if it fails. I don't know.
It won't. Thomas didn't want me doing it. I will be there to ensure its success.
Where do you think Arno is?
Probably causing absolute misery and chaos wherever he goes.
We fucked up, didn't we, Exodus?
No. We simply are doing the best we can with what we have.
He looks at you, his eyes are like, yellow. And there's like an insidious hunger behind them. And he has his fangs showing as you can kind of see the fangs show as he looks into your face. He says, well, I guess I'll keep watch here. I don't know. But I have to sleep during the day, I guess, so.
I'll cover up the windows so that there's no light that gets in.
What if you said you didn't do that and he just ended up dying in the night?
Well, that's why I did it.
And we take a long rest for the evening, right, guys?
Yep.
Cool. Everybody
I'm gonna
can
slide a silver to the barkeeper to send meat up to the room.
Oh, some meat up to the room?
Yep.
Cardinal, for you, as long as you promise I can see the pearly gates. She does it.
I'm telling you, you're on your. You gotta get to moving.
We take a long rest, and you guys click the long rest button in D&D Beyond, right? It's all your hit points. As we rest in the inn, all your hit dice refresh, all of your hit points refresh, and if you have a stack of exhaustion, you gain back that stack, right? You lose a stack, right, of exhaustion. I'm not sure if anybody here has any stacks of exhaustion, but
Sor does.
Okay.
Don't anymore.
I know Sor rolled a 25 on the roll, by the way, but it was actually like 24, right? But that's okay.
I don't think I was lethally knocked out that whole fight, so I don't think I have any.
You were knocked out multiple times.
Yeah, but
we all had a
non-lethal.
hard time reviving you.
It was non-lethal knockouts.
Yeah, sure.
The giant.
Was making out with you the entire time. You were just like, no, please, no, get away from me. Restraining order.
Does anybody have any questions or anything like that? As everybody can also roll a hit die roll based on their class. The hit die, since we rest in town, like in an inn and like a quote unquote safe area, not like out in the wilderness or in the dungeon somewhere, right? Or in a Larian's lair or something like that. You can roll and gain temporary HP based on a hit die that you roll, depending on your classes and multi-class, right? So everybody can do that now as you guys become kind of fully rested. So you have not only your HP back, your hit dice back, your spell slots back, but also you gain a temporary hit points, right? You guys understand?
Mhm.
Cool. And you can just do that on your own and just mark it on your sheet. We are waking up the next morning. The giant bar is a port bar within Stormbrook. Stormbrook is a port city which is excellently placed for its harbor, which allows for a lot of the ships from the Iron Links to come in with all kinds of trade from Usad mostly, or the Vagraks, the south. The other human kingdoms, unfortunately, their fate is maybe still under the occupation of the darkness. But Stormbrook is a bright spot within the realm of Orin. It has been liberated, yet kingless at this time, and the king, Thomas Viggal, apparently the last male successor to the throne, is dead. Now the throne has remained kingless. I'm going to have, let's say, Ox roll a d10. We'll say the DC starts off at 18. Every day it passes by without someone in control of the throne, the DC goes up by 1. So if he rolls higher than an 18, turmoil and chaos happen in the city of Stormbrook.
You said a D10 or D20?
A D20. The
Oh,
DC is 18 or higher. Because without someone on the throne, as the rumors are
17.
swirling that
Close.
almost got it. There is talk in the morning at the bar that, the word has kind of gotten out that King Parnish is dead, and the rumor is Thomas Viggal is nowhere to be found, which was the heir to the throne, and that
we gotta explain that.
Well, we need a new king, so.
But we have to explain his.
Exodus.
We have to explain his destruction as well. That's not good.
You guys went to bed late last night, so it is now 9 a.m. in the morning, and the bar is somewhat full, but in the morning it's not as busy as the ships go out during the day, and so the bar is only about half full. What do you guys do?
I'm still trying to get repaired.
I check in on Exodus and Azul.
I shared my mead with Orion, and we have a good time.
Come on, Anto, get on that.
Oh God! I'm not in the same room, am I?
Oh,
Apparently not.
unless you're a pervert.
There's no way I can know about this.
80 gold here. You're either that or decapitation.
Yeah, but yeah. Yeah.
She's in danger.
It's goddamn fairy. I'm gonna start looking for Delia and the fairy.
Delian
I
is in
don't
like the next room as you kind of were nearby, but you guys don't want
It's
to
locked.
In ancient times, they had padlocks in their shit.
It's locked, and I'm like, hey, I'm not decent. Don't come in.
Oh my God!
What are you gonna do?
Do I smell alcohol or anything like that, like
Slurring
in the air or
the
something?
Does he? Delian? Does he smell alcohol?
Well, he can't. How can he smell through the door?
I'm gonna try.
Is he like a dog?
Anto, make a perception roll with the DC's 25 to smell through the keyhole.
A perception. It's all good. I can do this.
I don't have any clothes on. Don't come in.
It's hard to smell through the keyhole.
What are you gonna do? You gonna pick the lock of a young girl's door?
He's
It's
scared
what
for
we
his
do.
life.
Is that goddamn fairy in there?
No.
Don't you lie to me.
I'm convinced.
Anto's first game, and he's scared for his life.
Don't you lie to me. Got coffee in my head.
There's nobody here. Just me and my sheets.
I'm gonna kick the door. I'm gonna kick the door.
Are you gonna kick the door? Really?
Oh yes, I'm going to kick the door.
The
The
door is being
moment that
kicked.
the moment that Orion hears the door being kicked, he creates an ottoman to the side of the bed, and then steps into the ottoman and hides there.
I run into. There's no bathroom in here, so what do I do here?
There's like a
Just
little
cover
wash.
yourself up with
It's
shit.
a wash
I guess
thing.
I just whip off my clothes and see what he says when he comes in.
Oh, you just want Ox to kill him.
Oh, gosh.
Oh my god.
And the
Anto's
scream.
being canceled on
Anton,
Twitter.
you kick the door down, and you see Delian there, a 14-year-old
A completely
girl.
naked 14-year-old girl. Hey! Screaming.
Anto, what do you do?
Shush, you little shit.
Oh, that's not a good thing to say.
I want to roll perception. Ox got to feel this one.
Ox is out by
I
the
hear
store.
this coming.
I know. I'm just saying. This is like parental senses.
He better not feel anything right now. I start looking for the L.
Get
I start
out!
looking for anything.
I hear Delian screaming, and I run to their door. And I see Anto looking at this.
Yeah.
Where's the drink?
Where's that goddamn ferry?
You pervert!
I'm gonna grab Anto by the back of the neck and cast shocking grasp. And I'm gonna throw him out of the room.
I hope Source tells Ox, "Oh, this is beautiful."
I'm gonna have like a one-on-one with Ox. Like, hey man, you need to be aware of this.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Think of this as coordination.
Yeah, I close the door again. Put my clothes back on pretty quickly, and then say, "Hey, let's get back to what we're doing."
The drinks.
Man.
As long as the door is closed, Orion comes out of his illusion, but he'll leave it up there just in case he needs to, and join Delian in having mead.
Orion flutters downstairs. Soar said he wanted to go check onto
Exit and Azul. Yeah.
Exit and Azul.
Make sure Azul hasn't killed him.
I will have Exit and roll a d20. If he rolls a 17 or higher, something happens.
17 or higher.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Azul
Azul is
by
there
two.
2 is a good
waiting
thing.
for you,
Yeah.
Exit. Azul says,
By 2.
yes, everything seems fine for now. I'm tired, though. And the sun is up, and I'm afraid.
We'll just stay in this room for the day,
Should lead him outside.
and we'll come back in the evening.
Someone should feed him before he goes nuts. Because somebody
I
decided
already,
to feed him.
I already fed him.
Yeah, feed him again. They drink a lot.
Does he look like he's hungry? Thirsty?
Not right now.
Okay.
Somebody bring him
Yeah,
a
on the
goat
days.
or Anton.
Did you make sure to send some food up?
How does Azul look? Does he, like, if some peasant were to see him, would it be like obvious that?
Most commoners can't even read.
Okay.
This city.
Goddamn, so
terrible.
Sor can't read?
Oh, okay, yeah.
But a monster hunter or some adventurer or something like that, or someone who's well read, like another noble, could probably totally, start to infer something.
Okay. Well, in that case, yeah, I'll bring him the breakfast things or whatever to the room, and then leave it there and say if he needs anything else, I'll have him bring up lunch later in the day if you're not sleeping.
So, did you want to say anything to me?
I was just coming to see if you killed him.
Well,
Wow.
thankfully not. I don't know, though. I do feel a strange hunger. And I feel fine for now. Thank you, Sora.
I say a quick little prayer and I push forward.
Okay. We're all downstairs, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
We're all having some nice breakfast. What do you guys do?
I have a hangover. Like,
Wouldn't you be drunk right now?
Oh my head! Oh my head!
The first time,
put my hand
14-year-old
on
girl
X's
drank.
shoulder, and I let him know about Anto.
Excuse me, folks. I'm just gonna, let loose something, and then I go throw up in the privy.
Damn, that sounds like a man.
Anto barged into Delian's room, exiting. I don't know if we should be worried about that.
Yeah, what?
He barged into Delian's room, and she was changing. You might need to have a talk with him.
Is Anto there right now?
Yes, you guys are all by the table, and I
Good.
guess he's got like a little piece of bread in his mouth or something as you mentioned this.
Why
He's
would
just-
he barge into the room?
Precisely.
Anto?
You.
I think you're muted. If you're talking.
Oh, I'm muted. Is Orion here?
Yeah. See, you gave me a headache, Anto. Hey, I hope you like. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you like what you saw.
Hush, you little mongrel. Orion. you come here. Come here. I gotta talk to you, man.
Talk to who?
To the little fairy.
Oh, the ferry.
I'm right here. What did you want to say?
Yeah. Did you give this little girl a drink or something?
Have some
I
water.
gave her nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
I'm like, does the fairy have a shirt?
Does he have a shirt? Yes, he has a tunic.
I'm gonna grab you by the tunic and I'll lift you up.
Or you gonna use your little fingers? You better be telling me the truth.
Come on, fairy mangler. Just do something with it.
Hey,
Just grab a
Get some
fly.
tweezers. Tell me the truth, damn it. I'm gonna die.
You can't handle the truth.
Put him in
you
a
better
jar.
not be lying to me, man. You better not be lying to me. My
Look,
head's
he's
on the
not-
line.
He's not lying. We had nothing to drink. We had a good night's rest, and I need to throw up. See you later.
I guess you'll play this up like it's a sickness or something that kids get.
I got
It's not-
sick because you looked at my naked body, but other than that, I'm good.
You lying piece of.
He's not lying.
Oh, I can't wait for OX to return.
For the character, Anto, he's gonna be gone.
It's gonna be gone, yes.
It's quite an
Threaten
episode.
me. You peep on her. Who are you?
Now, who are you to give a child a drink?
Well, you can't prove that, but
You stay out of this. You're gonna have me killed,
why? Who's gonna kill you?
little devil. I should have not been here. I should have not said yes to those 80 goals. Should have asked for more. That's not enough. 80 goals is not worth my head.
80 gold for what?
Shut up.
He said protect her. He didn't say be her chaperone.
Protecting and shut up has nothing to do with it. If I gotta be a dick to protect her, I will be a dick to protect her. But I will not like treat her like a princess or
Do
something.
you mean a literal dick, or do you just mean a dick as in general?
Where you learn all these things, you little kid?
I listen to adults all day. Remember, I take confessions.
Oh god.
Delian's
yeah,
like
right.
14, right?
Yeah,
I just met you yesterday.
it's true though. I do take confessions every day, so I.
And the
listen to
thing is,
everything
You
said.
may
the thing
need
is,
to
if
confess,
OX heard
Anto.
these words coming from her mouth, he'd be going back to those adults and exterminate.
Two. All right. If I ever catch you, little fairy, doing that again,
Yes.
I will make sure that the little what's his name again? The big tall dude
The
machine.
machine is OX3 or OX.
OX3. I'll make sure that he knows. He'll know that you did it.
Well,
He'll
he
know
has-
that you are Peeping Tom.
well,
Who do
he
you
has-
think's going to be
yeah.
dead first?
Yep.
No, because if you say that, you're gonna admit that you were there with the little kid in the first place.
How would that be admitting that I was there? Everyone just told me you were looking at her naked.
No, don't
got
twist
you.
the words.
They got you. They got you in a corner.
I gotta go get a drink.
At 9 in the morning, he's gonna go get a drink.
I need a drink.
He's stressed.
I need a morning drink.
You need a real drink.
Coming right up for you. Let's go to Ox, who's been sitting outside the thing, and you see this gnome Wilner come down the street outside of Gears, Gadgets, and Gizmos. Wilner is a nice little gnome. He's Caucasian, but probably only about 3 feet tall. He's got his little goggles on.
Oh God, he's got the goggles.
Oh, well, what do we have here? As he sees Ox there.
Ox's bellow smokes before turning himself on, standing up full height as he announced, Iron Knight, OX3, requesting repairs.
Requesting repairs? He starts to clink on you a little bit. Clink, clink, clink. What the hell happened to you?
Vampire spawn battle long. Protect Delia successful.
Fighting vampires? You are built to fight humans, not those evil things. What were you doing fighting vampires? You're not built for that.
Assisting Delia. Request
Cardinal?
assistance. That is correct.
Well, come on in. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. He opens the shop up as he lets you in. The shop is full of all kinds of gears, gizmos, and all kinds of contraptions. You see armed weapons built of gun smoke. Things beyond even your comprehension. Ox, he walks in with you. He says, well, let me take a look. He starts just taking his little socket wrench to you. Starts tightening up some of the loose bolts. Oh, you're missing one here. He puts it in, tightens it up, crank, crank, crank.
Damage extensive. 80% damage.
Well, we have to do something about that. Who's the bill going to?
Dwarf.
All bills go to Ulimar.
Ulamar? He's all the way over in Nistapur.
Rebuild OX. All billing and prices to replace go to Ulimar.
Well, we have to send a message of sending. I'll need to get paid to send that message. We're supposed to get billed halfway across the sea.
All messages go to the church. Delian, what was your church called?
The Church of St. Exeter.
I paid no bill.
The Church of Meetle?
That's correct.
They do say Exeter is pretty rich. All right.
Got a hidden stash.
What type of repairs do you want him to make to you?
He needs on the basic repairs, restorative of his armor, any damaged parts, replacement of the joints that from the excessive damage from also ripping the copper out and from the falls.
He kind of replaces some of the shocks and screws, fixes you up, puts some new armor plating on. And he's like, well, I don't know, maybe I'm not very religious. You know, we don't believe in that type of hogwash.
Religion is only secondary. Functionality is priority.
Well, we have to update your directives, perhaps. They seem to be a little haywire fighting vampires.
As he hears this, Directive 1, protect Delia. Directive 2, make sure all threats are exterminated that may cause harm to Delia. Directive 3. As Directive 3 pops up, OX is just silent.
Directive 3, what is it?
Error. Directive 3 not found.
Well, let me take a look. He starts digging around. And I'm going to go back to the other group. As he's kind of digging around and you're making the repairs.
Yeah, Anton is right there, like mug in hand. Is like, what the hell have I done to myself?
It says in the lore that the last survivor of the Viggal bloodline is Lady Nona Viggal. Is she still around somewhere?
Yes, around, like, you asked the barkeep or something?
Well, no, I'm just wondering if I know by history.
Roll a history roll.
Oh, no.
Can I assist with that? I do have that.
You're proficient?
For a proficiency.
Delian starts to mention something about the genealogy of the Viggal line. Orion, aren't really from this area, as more or less the Fae. Would you know about the nobility of the Viggal line?
Well, I'm just thinking that I might, if I'm from the Deep Vale Wood, or the Deep Wood Vale, which is right next to Stormbrook.
Why would you attack Thomas Viggal then?
Because he was a vampire who was refusing to be cured.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Yeah, we're the 17.
Actually, Delian needs to roll one more time with advantage, though.
Yeah, but the second roll's bad, so...
Well, you need to
Okay,
roll...
so 17.
Oh, I see. I see you already rolled it. Cool.
Yeah.
17. I would just say the DC is probably kind of low for you, Delian, because, I mean, you're the fucking cardinal. You probably know about
because I listened to confessions.
Well, also, yeah, I mean, you know the nobility. I mean, you've crowned these people. You've been around them for a while. And you know that Ian Parnish was kind of a creepy guy. He didn't really want to do anything with the church at the time. But you're right, Delian. There is one last Viggal remaining, but her whereabouts are unknown.
Do we know her last whereabouts? Anything of that sort, any clue?
You look over at Exodus, as Exodus like the bounty hunter and stuff.
Mhm.
Exodus has to make some kind of roll. Because he's the only person that knows, like, where people go, like, where they would be, and so forth.
I did not track people down. I was just the enforcer. I don't know where fucking people are.
Maybe
Exodus
Anton
might
knows. Maybe Anton knows. He's been working around and working with the army a lot.
I know. I'm looking at the bottom of a glass of drink, contemplating. So I'm not there present.
Is it kind of one of those things where you drink to the bottom and there's like those bar sticker stabs at the bottom or whatever?
You're like, I'm gonna be killed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exodus doesn't want to make a roll because he thinks he doesn't know anyways.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it is true, Delian, there is apparently one sole survivor of the Viggal line still alive.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go get them. Assuming that our bounty hunter and saint can fight him.
Who is this that you want to find?
She's the last survivor of the Viggal line.
You
Couldn't be
already
any worse than the ones before.
We already had a member of the Viggal line, and we're not too keen on having a queen.
Why is that?
I don't know.
You're not too keen on having a queen? Is that like
They were not. I was all for it.
Okay. You mean the
Lady
nobles?
Istra.
You mean the nobles, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So there's sexes, there's slavers. There are
So
a
the
lot of things.
nobles. So the nobles are against the queen. Is that? Do I know that? That's kind
That
of weird.
is true. It's kind of tradition where,
Okay.
it's kind of like in Game of Thrones, guys, where they won't respect a woman queen.
Okay. So I think I go back to X and I'm like, how about you? You could be the king. You know, we could sort of make you a saint king, an honorary one, and you could appoint anybody you want as kind of like your regent while you're, you know, away on your little adventures. I think that's a great idea.
And it's the only option idea.
Another
Let's
apple
talk with
juice
the
saw?
nobles first.
Sorry.
What?
Another apple juice saw?
Yes, please.
Apple juice, is that what you said?
I did. Would you, the cardinal, like anything as well? She kind of winks at you.
Yeah, apple juice with something extra.
Okay. And she looks over at Anto. Irish car bomb coming up.
Yes.
You really need to get rid of ruler by family lines.
So,
It's getting kind
say
of stale.
accident, we make you the same king. You appoint a regent. It could be whoever you want. It could be a woman, for all that matters, because it's a regent, right? And
You
then
can't go against
from
your
there.
orders.
What do you say, Saint Accident?
I want to first see what the other options are.
There
Option
is
one,
no
become
other.
king.
There is
Option
no
two,
other
become
option
king. Option
because
three,
you don't
become
want
queen.
to. I don't think there's any. I don't think there's anybody left in the overall line except that Nona Viggal character. So
I mean, the nobles would probably want to get in on pie.
yeah, 'cause the
There's no
lady
one
Nona
left that'll
Viggal
get
is the
elected.
only survivor of the bloodline. It says here. So according to the Zin. Or we could marry Lady Nona if we find her to one of you big males, and you could become kind of like a king, I guess. What do you think?
You look over at Anto.
Well, if we're looking at Exodus as a possibility, then that opens it up to beyond the line. Is there anybody else? Assuming
could-
Exodus doesn't want it, and it sounds like he doesn't, there are other options.
We could take a look at all the nobles. I know a few of them would love to be on the throne. But what I've seen, they're assholes.
All nobles are. So we're going to go meet with the nobles then.
The key noble families? Are there like key noble families, or do we need to meet all of them?
I think there are.
Probably
the
like 2 or
Battle-
3 powerful families that, you know, influence the throne, right?
They're the Bettenford, Darkguard, and the Grimmings, I believe.
That's
Whatever
correct,
my
Sor.
notes.
I'm going to say Delian and Sor both gain inspiration for kind of like figuring out some alternate solutions, maybe to the throne being missing. But Sor, you think about the Darkguard, I believe, right? Sebastian Darkguard, he was killed by Delian in the attack.
In my notes, Darkguard, leader dead.
Leader death.
I'll update his thing in here saying that he died in the attack with
We
the
could
Battle of
still-
Delirium.
Go to their family, and then see who's replacing him, and that person's better.
No, they're not dead. Don't kill them.
No, they're too sexy, you know.
He died yesterday.
He died as he should have, screaming in pain and bitching and moaning.
And nobles too.
Well, we could appoint new nobles as well, right? We could raise new people to nobility.
That would take a lot of time, money, I feel.
That wouldn't work. They wouldn't need to own land. They would need titles. It'd be too much of a pain in the ass, and OX would just exterminate them by then.
Yeah, Oak is probably gonna learn his third directive and then kill all of us.
Yes, please let it be.
Exodus, why don't you
humans.
want the position?
Because it would make me a noble. which means I would eventually become obsessed with myself and what I could do for myself, just as Thomas.
But aren't you already a noble?
No.
I mean, what makes a noble a noble? Is it just the title, or the fact that they have a lot of money, land, and power? Because you kind of have the power.
It's the
You're very
title.
well known here.
Yeah, you have to be married to a noble. Am I a noble? That's a good question. They kept saying something about
Yes, Delia, you are a noble. You have a lot
I'm
of
a
power.
noble.
You have a title. And
Great.
you have a lot of
Maybe I can be queen.
No, you're not the age yet, and OX ain't gonna let you.
Well, they might if I appoint a council of regents, right?
That will put you in danger.
I appoint a council of regents. I can appoint anybody into the council of regents.
You guys are making some good points. Let's go back to the shop, though, quickly with Ox. I'm just going to roll a d20 to see if we can determine what the missing thing is, right? I roll an 11 with the guy. Would he be able to undercover, like, whatever missing code is in there?
He would do undercover. It would show only pieces of it.
Pieces of it? Like, what piece is there?
Restore.
That's
Kingdom,
about it.
and humans.
Restore human kingdoms.
It's in pieces. Like there's like many pieces.
Well, I have more work to do. I have to build some guns, apparently. There's someone in town that needs them. I'll let you be. Head back to Delian. Tell the Cardinal, give her my best wishes, and good luck. And I'll make sure to bill accident as soon as possible. And he should
Give him
drop
myself
and
Word
I'm gonna
document.
say, yeah, exactly. And Ox, I'm just gonna say you join the crew back at the end, right? So you're back with everybody, okay?
brand
Walk.
new spanking armor. He steam is not literally pushing out of his joints, and he doesn't. There's not an annoying squeak when he moves his joints anymore.
Got some extra oil in there.
I see Ox come in, and I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm just gonna have to tell him.
OX3 reporting for duty.
Oh, you're gonna have a lot of duty.
Yes. If you tell him, just expect quite a response. Is that okay?
Is he looking at me?
Oh, he's looking at Delia. I'm looking for orders.
Yeah. Tell him. I just say like, "Hey, Ox, are you all set and ready to go? We have to go find a new king."
OX3 has 100% repaired, ready for combat.
Great. Let's go find a new king, or queen, or regent.
We're excellent.
OX3 is gonna look at Anton. Mission successful.
Yes.
Roll deception.
Orion
Please
smiles.
do.
Go grab water.
I got a 6, boy.
I'm gonna roll insight.
He said he's not a very good liar. He didn't lie.
I got a 0.
Oh, he believes you.
Oh, wow.
I got a -3 to my wisdom.
Who believed you? You believe Anton?
OX3 has believed that the mission was successful. You have been protected.
See? All's well that ends well.
Yes.
I say that in giant. All's well that. How do you say it in giant anyway?
Unless someone tells OX what has happened.
I try and
I
pull
say
Jillian
giant.
off to the side.
I say giant. Would you go up?
I will tap on Delian's shoulder and ask her, are you going to report Anton? Like, what was going on there? Because that seemed kind of sus.
Are you talking to me? Are you guys reporting
Yes.
Anton? I think
Yes,
you
I'm
should
talking
report
to
him
Dylan.
to all the authorities that's possible.
Hey, Ox.
Ox looks at Sword.
You might want to keep an eye on Anton. Or Anton.
Question: why?
Suspicious behaviors around Delian.
All right. Ox turns to Anton, slams his glaive, and he's walking forward.
I tried to be vague with it.
I'm drinking. I keep drinking.
And he's like right above you, staring you down. Question: what has happened?
Well, I'ma lose my head, so a fairy gave drink to a child. That's all I can say. I keep drinking. Just I got nothing. Can't say nothing because
You have not protect Delia.
Do you see a scratch on her? I don't see one.
Since we're throwing people under the bus, why don't you tell them about how you broke in the door and found her nude?
Yeah. I guess he really likes them young. You know, I've heard many confessions like that.
I thought she was in danger. What can I say?
He broke down the door. I told him I was not well or not decent.
I heard something. OX3 said to protect at all costs, not try. So
you
I
broke
kicked
down
the
the
door.
door after I said I wasn't decent. Okay.
yeah, it could have been a code for something, for help or something. I don't know.
I don't think that's code.
Does that sound reasonable to you, Ox?
Ox's eyes is glowing.
You should not have kicked down that door.
So DM, do I have to roll anything?
It's okay. I mean, Anto's fine. I mean, if he likes them really young, I guess everybody has their own little taste.
Back in this time period, 12 years old was considered okay.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
People have
Request.
confessed to me about all kinds of strange
Request.
things. So
Exterminate Anton.
Mm-mm.
after he has his drinks.
Mm-mm.
You're so lucky Galleon spoke up.
Fair, Ox. It does appear that Delian was never in any real danger, so Anto did accomplish the mission that you set forth for him. She is unharmed.
Ox's eyes just starts dimming down as he's turning back to guard mode from his previous blender mode. As his body turns around, head still in place, as he's walking back to Delian, just still staring down at
I keep on drinking. That's all I can do. So
Orion turns to Anto. You're welcome, and then flutters away.
OX is gonna look at Delian. Extra protection necessary.
Hey, Ox, you're ready to go. Let's go look for the king.
He's now Ox is just telling Delian, extra protection required. You will not leave Ox's side.
No.
Request denied. Protection required. Orders
Can I
one.
reprogram him?
It just works out for me.
The only one who can reprogram is the one who actually gave him the orders in the first place, and that is Ulima.
Okay. Take it easy, Ox.
Shall we go find this noble?
Yeah, let's go find the nobles and talk to them about the succession.
Which house do we want to speak to first?
I guess whoever's living.
Who you haven't killed yet.
I will just suggest. I'll suggest Battenford.
Ox have
Let's go down the
idea.
list.
Arnold Battenford. He's one of the 3 noble houses of Stormbrook. You ask
On
around.
the way there, Ox is going to suggest Mudteeth could be temporary king until further notice.
I don't think he's a noble. Just like this problem. So,
Noble, no. Loyal, yes.
Oh
yeah,
wait,
we can't make him
can't-
a king though.
we shouldn't let the nobles know that Thomas has died. That will definitely cause chaos in the city.
Battenford, Darkguard, and Greenmerk.
Grimmings, I think.
Required
Okay.
new ruler. Second priority.
Yeah, let's go see Battenford. Looks like he's the most important guy here.
We have Sighard Grimmings. And then the
OX is going to stand between Deligan and Anton to make sure he doesn't get within like at least 20 feet.
That's fine. He can look at all he wants. He's already seen everything anyway.
So Ryan goes over to Exodus. So why did you choose Thomas over these other lords we're about to visit?
Well, before he was a vampire, he seemed like he was somebody that I would have chosen to be king. But when things actually became difficult for him, it seems he went back to his ways of being a typical noble.
And the others?
There were no others.
I thought there were 2 other male nobles in the Stormbrook.
Not that I know of.
There
I
are other
misunderstood.
noble. So Orion, you're kind of correct since you said you knew some of the history behind it, anyways, right? And you made a
Okay.
roll. And
Yep.
there was the Viggal line. Thomas was the only male heir to King Viggal at the time.
Okay.
He just died, right? By you guys,
Yep, so
by the
it's
failed
just
resurrection challenge. There are 2 other noble there are other noble houses, factions within Stormbrook that showed up for the coronation. But like in old kings of old, I mean, you know, it's mostly like what Sora's talking about is through blood. Delian, of course, is part of the process of selecting the king as well.
Yep.
If she
Is
wants
it
to be. Or you just don't have to give a fuck and you guys can do whatever you want.
Just leave the city.
Go ahead.
Ox doesn't care if these humans die or live. He's programmed to protect them.
I do have a stake in this. If Stormbrook is a mess, then it becomes dangerous for the Deep Wood Vale. And I really prefer things to be a little bit more stable here.
Question.
How old are you,
Does
Orion?
anyone can be king?
Orion's about 22 years old.
Okay. Orion's not old enough to remember, but there was a time where elves and humans were allies before the Great War.
Well,
But you've
I mean,
heard of it, Orion, but you never witnessed it yourself.
I still don't see the problem with the same King Exodus and Regent of Nobles, but okay.
Other than the fact that Exodus doesn't want it.
He is best option. We
That's why we're
we
going,
know
checking
Exodus
out other options.
loyal.
I mean, the nobles would be happy if they're just the council regents ruling the land, right? So it doesn't really matter who's in the throne at this point. So,
Figurehead.
yeah. Could be me, could be Exodus, could be whatever that lady. No, doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter. So let's go see this, what's his name? Battenford.
Arnold Battenford. Are we all heading to one of the noble houses to see Arnold Battenford?
Sure.
Apparently we are.
I'm making sure Antoine is stay away from Delia at all times. She has to stay pure.
Oh, it's okay. He's seen everything anyway.
Oh,
Let's
what's
go.
the first name for the grooming family?
Arthur.
I linked to
Arthur.
everything in our Discord, buddy.
Arthur.
We didn't.
Art-
I didn't know he was a bard.
I'm just putting this on
Arnold.
as the noble thing, right?
Arnold. Arnold. Why does
You
that
come
name
in-
sound familiar?
The cardinal is here, one of the servants say as you guys go into the noble house within Stormbrook, right? And you
Bird is
walk
here.
in, and he's like, Cardinal, I was not expecting this.
Well, a lot of unexpected things have happened in the last day, really, right?
Well, that business with the king, something you were casting magic, and the bright light went off, and I just tuck-tailed and run.
I think we all wanted to run, but some of us were kind of stuck where we were. But right now we need to replace the king because the king has passed.
Well, where's that elf
was-
friend of yours?
Sorry? Which
That elf friend, I saw him with your party.
Huh?
The elf.
Who's he referring to?
Talking about Azul.
Oh, he's in care right now.
In
He's,
care? Oh, I hope he's
right.
recovering. Was it because of the battle by chance?
Yes, directly related to the battle.
Make a
He took
deception
some
roll.
chances. He took.
That's
deception roll.
technically true. There's no deception.
There is some
Okay.
fabrications.
Half truth.
Withholding the truth.
16 plus 4, 20.
Oh heavens, that's so sorry to hear that. I hope for a speedy recovery for him.
Yes, I hope so as well. So essentially, Thomas has passed because of the battle, and Azul is in the hospital being cared for, or the clinic.
Oh, slow down,
so
slow
we
down,
need
slow
to-
down. Thomas has passed?
Yes, he was killed in the battle, unfortunately.
He was killed. Oh, that is terrible news.
Yes, so I thought that with your wisdom and a council of nobles, we could appoint a new queen or king, and then you could sort of rule as the council of regents for the next few years while the king or queen gets acclimated to their new position.
I don't understand what you're talking about, Cardinal.
But we need to
Request
find a new ruler.
You are adequate.
Me? Cardinal? You want me to be king?
Or are needed.
Think of free alcohol.
Well, I was hoping to appoint somebody, but would you mind being king?
Of course not, Cardinal. With your blessing, of course.
I don't even
It's
know
a
who this
pity
guy
that
is.
Thomas died, but it is what it is. And battles do happen.
We'll have to have somebody that's at least as a temporary ruler or some sort of ruler, and then if it works out, then the Council of Regents confirms the appointment. It should be fine.
Well, unfortunately, the Dark God house was destroyed in the battle as well. The only living son. There's only one other house remaining that could even challenge your order, Cardinal.
So there you go. Then you should go for it. I think we should do that and then get it done. We need stability immediately, so it's
Should
already
we
a big mess.
So we summon the other noble house to the throne and begin the coronation ceremony? So they may swear fealty to me?
Sure, why not?
I'm
We
not
should
going to just
probably-
let anybody be king.
Yeah, I was about to say we should probably see the other noble houses.
Dillian
Well, we
acting
can
like a
just get
14-year-old
exit and
girl. It's a
Yes.
little brash and a little hasty maybe, but it is what it is.
Tell me
well,
about
there's
yourself, Arnold.
There's only one choice.
Well, I am
Or
from
two
the most...
choices, I should say.
Well, after the Great War, I was able to survive and stay in hiding. And I was one of the last noble houses. My father died, of course.
Any plans with you being king?
Just
know.
exterminate all humans.
So he's simply a survivor. That's it.
We have a big problem with the refugees, and we have to raise the taxes. And with against Tusad, I'm worried about the Genie King, of course. And our forces are dramatically weakened, and I see you have a men of the company there. He points over to Anto. What is Anto's company of mercenaries that he came from?
You call the chills? I think it
The
was.
Chills, and we've had to hire the mercenaries recently to help restore the order, since no fighting men we have sworn fighting men anymore. After the battle with, apparently there was another scuffle with Ian as well. We lost a lot of good men. And we're in desperate need of gold and resources to restore Stormbrook to its former glory.
And how would you resolve that?
By
I don't
raising
know.
taxes?
By raising the taxes and levies on the shipments, but it might anger the Genie King.
Are we in his house right now, or are we just still
Yes.
outside? I kind of want to look over his shoulder. What do I see? Anything inside his house?
You want to like snoop through some of his house?
Like, what is it? What does it look lavishly decorated or anything like that?
Is he a bit too well kept?
It's pretty nice.
So there's a shortage of coin in the kingdom, and here you stand in your house, very well lavishly decorated and kept.
And you wear the foreigner's armor of Samarkand, so what is the point? These are my family heirlooms.
Oh, what has this heirloom done for anyone?
Well, it's been in my family for generations.
Okay, Exodus is not exactly speaking the noble language here.
I hate him. I have an automatic hatred of him.
OX3 have suggestion.
Sure, Ox, what's your suggestion? Kill all humans?
No. Signed contract with Ulimar. Reinforce soldiers with Iron Knights.
Oh, sign. You mean for the extra soldiers, right?
That is
Definitely help with order.
correct. Iron Knights do not need food, do not need sleep.
But they need money, so
That's
They still
why
have to- they
signed
still-
contract.
they still have to raise taxes, I think. And I think that's what Exodus was complaining about.
It is more cost efficient to hire Iron Knights.
So, our Lord Arnaud, what about the last surviving Viggal, Nona Viggal? Is that her name?
Yeah, I'll
Wouldn't
make a
she be
D20 roll.
okay?
Mhm.
Wouldn't she be okay with a council of regents?
Well, fortunately, she trusted me, of course. She looks over at Exodus with her whereabouts.
Sure, I'm good with that.
She headed east to Shirebrook. She was afraid of Ian Parnish, and for good reason, from what I hear. He was kind of a, strange man. And a strange king, but we've had strange kings in the past. I mean, for God's sakes, you have a fairy with you.
See, there you go. So we go find her, and we have a council of regents rule in her place, or at least rule temporarily, right?
Yeah, I will not swear
Okay.
fealty to any woman. I'm sorry, Delian.
I kill him.
Kill him.
No,
Sword
not really.
attacks him. Roll an attack with a
No,
sword.
not really.
Wow.
Why won't you swear fealty to a woman? It would make life easier instead of us looking around.
It's just
But what about-
tradition. I'm
what ab-
sorry.
What about Exodus as the Saint King, and then you guys rule it as a council of regents while he's off, adventuring?
Wait, you just told me I would be king. Now you want Saint Exodus to be king? He isn't even a saint.
Well, I can make him saint.
Well, I'll see it to believe it, he looks at Exodus.
Excellent, just figurehead.
So my only place in this would be appointing regents.
There you go.
Pretty much, you don't want to rule or become a king, or just become a royal. We're just gonna use you because the crowd, the people, actually see you in a much brighter light. You encourage the peasants. So,
I knew.
How about this, Arnold? If I make you regent and you disappoint me, and I have your head full of disappointments, would you agree to that?
Make an intimidation roll.
with disadvantage. Can I provide assistance with that?
Shit, can I use my inspiration?
No, you have to declare it in advance.
All right.
We'll do guidance. We'll do guidance.
You can use guidance.
Yeah, I'll use guidance.
Okay. He's now guided, so he can't be done once per day anymore.
1d4.
Fuck.
What'd you roll?
14.
I do not respond well to threats, even from a saint. But you are no saint. Not yet. I do not understand what is happening here. Do you wish for me to be king, or?
Well, in theory, you would be king anyway, because Exeter would rarely be at the throne. So as long as you head up in council, in reality, I guess, not in theory.
We wish to create a council, Cardinal?
Yes. Yeah, I think a council would be safer, so no one person could be corrupted, right?
Okay.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yourself, the green, what's the name? Green,
Grimmings.
the Grimmings,
Is it Grimmings?
and maybe whoever is surviving of the Dark Guard family. So the three big families would appoint somebody in the council. You would lead. You being the senior counselor would be the main ruler, and then in name Exodus would be technically Saint King, and he'd be invisible, right? We wouldn't, he would be unable to return, unable to become a vampire, right?
I don't know, Cardinal. This all sounds strange to me. This is some gibberish that Thomas was talking about back when he was around, at least. But
Well, what did Thomas talk about?
well, he talked about freedom and democracy and things like that. But I haven't seen him in a while, and from what I understand, he went into hiding, and he's not been seen since. Do you know anything about his whereabouts?
Well, I thought I said he was dead, but it's okay.
He
what-
forgot.
you did.
He didn't hear that.
He did say he was dead. That's right. I'm sorry. But God bless his soul.
But
Sorry, my
look,
amnesia is kicking in.
yeah, these are strange. These are strange times. We need to, create different structures to, withstand the difficulties of these times.
I am
So I
not.
try to use big words to sound smart.
Tradition has not been holding up too well, it seems. All you kings keep dying.
Yeah. So if you have 3 regents and 1 absent king, it's impossible to overthrow the government.
I don't know. I've seen many kings die, as Exeter knows. I've seen apparently 2 now die in my stead. Plus the warlord Igot of the orcs died as well. It's a dangerous
Right,
job being a king, and it is tradition.
So you have an absentee king and 3 nobles at the minimum. I think it's much safer, right? And you would be the senior noble, so you would make most of the decisions anyway.
I don't know. I'd rather be more, unless I'm king, I don't know. I would want to be in the back. Too much danger.
You won't be in danger all the same.
You just said the kings were dying. Left and right.
But a regent is not a king.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good way
You
to put
will
it.
be safe.
See, Orion is very intelligent.
Oh my
Either
goodness.
you choose to be king and be targeted, or would you rather stay in the back making all the decisions?
So who will be on this
exiting.
council?
I think we're
Yourself?
pushing him to be regent,
Yeah, we're pushing him to be chief regent, and
not to
there
be
would
king, to be regent.
Yeah, there would be two others, one from Dark Guard, whoever they appoint, and one from Grimmings.
Seems reasonable.
So we have two. We're going to use the two noble houses to be regents to be basically co-regents of Stormbrook, correct?
Well, I thought it was three if you include Dark Guard if they appoint somebody else. So
The
three.
Dark Guard house has no living heir.
Okay, so there's two then.
Because you killed him, Delian.
I didn't mean to kill him.
Yeah, you did. Ox was pleased.
No, I didn't mean to kill him. This is a mistake. Those are two nobles. And of course, at your discretion, Lord, Battenford, you can appoint the third noble house as, to round it out, just in case of tie votes.
Question. If the house does not have an heir, does the other two houses claim their territories, wealth, and such?
That's a good question. That's a good question, Ox. Wow, I didn't think of that.
I'm more worried about each one of our houses. I am the last living heir, and there's only one other living heir from the other house.
You have daughters, I assume, right?
I have two daughters, yes.
Yeah, so they could marry somebody and they could be the heir.
All the fighting men were killed in the Great War. I'm
Really?
lucky to
All
be
of them?
alive. Well, most of them,
It
yes.
sounds like tradition is really holding this city back.
I do not come to your lands, Genasi, and mock your traditions.
He
I'm not
has
mocking
no
it.
lands.
I'm just stating that
He is peasant.
I got shocking grasp on Ox.
So Lord
Batteries fully
Battenford,
charged.
I think you should just accept the situation. I mean, there's nothing else we can do here, right?
You said you wanted to name me king. I accepted that. But this council business is confusing. We need one head at the table to determine all the rules.
I don't understand. You want to be king, but you think it's too dangerous. But then you don't want to be chief regent because you think it's too dangerous.
It's
Which one is it
dangerous,
then?
but I don't want to be some co-regent where I don't have men around me, surrounding me and swaying no fealty to me. If I am not king, I don't want it.
All right. Well,
Let's go to
nobody
the
else
other
seems.
house.
Why am I not surprised?
I think we're going to get the same result from the other house, but it's up to you guys. But to be honest with you, it doesn't matter who's king, really, right? It doesn't have anything
Delian,
to do
you
with
can make
us.
like an insight roll, you know?
Sure. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with us. I mean, in the end, it's like, Democrat or Republican. They're pretty much the same.
Shit sandwich or
There ain't no
turd
Democrat or
sandwich.
Republican. It's just one asshole trying to get more power than the others.
Yeah, that's 11.
You roll pretty shitty, so I'm not going to help you on this one.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure the nobles are all the same. I don't need a roll for that.
I don't think that was the help he was going to give you.
Question, Delia.
Hmm?
Just why not appoint multiple rulers from the multiple houses?
Well, we
If
tried to
one
do that.
would die, the next one would take its place.
Well,
They
that's
just
the
try
idea
to
behind the
assassinate each
council.
other.
That's the point behind the Council of Regents, but that's not really.
They
don't
all
do that.
wish to be king. Appoint him. He points at the ruler.
What was I rolling insight for? Now to think about it,
Sees expressions of greed and guilt that he just pissed himself.
just kind of like personality. Yeah, I'm pretty much sure that he's a politician. So, okay,
He
we could
would-
go see the other guy, but I got a feeling it's gonna be the same result.
He wished to be Delia. He wished to be king.
Everybody
Simply
wants to be
appoint
king,
him
except
be
Exeter.
king. It does not matter if they rule or not.
Everybody wants to be king except Exeter. It looks like.
Everybody's deep in thought as a political quagmire.
All right, so I guess,
Welcome
do
to
you want to
Dungeons
go?
and Dragons.
Do you want to
Adventure.
go see
picking heirs to the throne.
Do you want to go see Grimmings then? I don't think it's gonna be that different, but why not?
Might as well. If we're going to a
Maybe
point,
he'll
we might as
surprise
well.
us.
Might as well see.
Yeah, sure. Let's go see Grimmings.
Lord Grimmings.
From Republican to Democrat. So let's see what happens.
I'm gonna ask Arnold's opinion on Grimmings.
I don't trust him one bit.
Good. I'm gonna go see him.
They don't
We
trust each
listen
other.
to both sides before making decision.
Okay. You go see Grimmings. Grimmings is an older gentleman, probably in his late 50s. He is more religious. He wears some cloths of the faith. Delian, you kind of know this, that he believes in the gods a little bit more, rather than basically being agnostic or atheistic in ways, believing that the gods have abandoned men.
Okay.
You go to
Theocrat.
He goes to his house.
Sure.
Cardinal
So now
Delian, as they kind of announce the cardinal in here, and Exodin.
Yes.
They don't say Saint
Evonius-
Exodin.
Yeah. May
Hey, Asbo,
Evonius
did you
light-
get my my message earlier?
I did not. I haven't checked Discord.
It's not Discord. It's on the Zoom chat.
I don't read the Zoom chat very much, guys.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I only read the Discord stuff because the Zoom chat goes away. So if you guys use the Zoom chat, that's cool, but it doesn't. I don't read it. What do you want to say, buddy?
Oh, so I had asked earlier if I could do a heart sight check.
Okay, what is that about? I don't know. I've never heard of that.
So it's a sprite thing.
Cool.
It basically gives me alignment and where the person's mentality is at. It's a charisma check, DC 10.
You're a fairy, so you don't have this, do you?
Which is why I was doing this in DMs. I was explaining how I was doing it.
Okay, you don't have this ability because it's not a part of your thing.
Do
you wish to cast magic?
No, I don't need to. It is. Hold on. I will send you in.
I mean, you guys have magic. You are level 9.
Yep. May the light of Evonia shine on this house of Grimmings.
If you can't normally cast it, I guess. Well, I don't know about.
Here's what I'm doing, buddy. Is I'm looking at fairy, right? Fairy is, the thing we got here, man. And there's no sprite ability, like a monster ability you're maybe trying to use or something, right?
Can you check your DMs, please?
Yeah, I'll check it.
Hey, I just realized, I could cast scrying.
Oh, you want to use your familiar?
Yeah, but I didn't want to tell everybody because it's been invisible this whole time.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, man.
There you
Okay, I already
It's
jinxed
okay.
it. Oh,
okay.
heart side, okay.
No, we
Um,
our
the
characters
cre-
know, but our
this-
characters don't know shit.
Yeah, so the thing is it has to touch this guy. Do you want to touch it?
Yeah, that was fine.
You say
I
something.
figure we were deep enough in conversation that it might distract him anyway.
Okay, I'll make a saving throw with this guy. I'm gonna say he's neutral.
Okay.
You kind of sense this feeling. If he was a celestial fiend or undead, he automatically fails to save.
Right. Do I get any insight in terms of where his head is at?
His current emotional state is pretty troubled.
Exactly.
They're hearing about the king's death.
Okay.
Cool. Anything else?
Thank you. Nope,
Sorry
that
about
was
that.
it. That's all I wanted to do.
I was like,
No,
what the
no
hell
worries.
are you doing? Sometimes
What
I
is
forget.
what is this little thing touching me?
Exactly.
Does it-
You guys see a little cloth move. Okay, so we're going to the other house, correct, Delian?
Yes. Just the one thing, I have scrying as a ritual. So actually, if you guys want, I can scry for Donna Higgle. I guess what's her name?
You want to
I
go
find her
back
as
to
well.
the?
Oh, we should have asked. We should have asked where she was since he said he knew.
He did. He said it already.
Oh,
He said
okay.
she was off to some So we can use, because he's indicated the position, it's easier to describe where she is and then find her. So
Do you remember what city
If
I
we
said,
want to.
Delian?
Hmm?
Do you remember the city I told you?
yeah, sort of like can you tell me the name again? Like,
Shirebrook.
I do. Firebrook.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, did Excellence catch that bill yet?
You know, we,
A little
Just out of
guy,
curiosity.
a little guy comes by with a bill as you guys are traveling through the city. Here you go, sire. It's stamped with the gears, gizmos, and gadgets. Ox, what did you get done to you? What are you trying to say, buddy? What happened?
Pretty much
How
he
much
got
did
his
we rack up?
44,695 gold.
hey, you know, we
He's
could
not
just
going to do
force-
$44,000 worth of augmentation. Maybe 1,000 or 2 gold max.
It's charged to his church. Thank you, Delia.
How much is the bill?
you
Is
know-
it 1 or 2,000 gold?
It's only 1,000 gold. It's just basic repairs and replacement for parts.
That's only like probably like 50 gold just for doing replacement parts and things.
Pretty much it's just replacement for the outer shell of his gear and some of his joints that's been damaged on the fall.
We put the
Isn't
excellent
that
into
just like
deep
a
dip with the
mending
gnomes.
cantrip?
Yeah, it's just there's just some basic stuff plus some parts. It's only like it's not even 50 gold. It's probably like 5 gold really.
And basic maintenance from this interior.
You see a little bill exit and you open it up. It's stamped with the merchants, the iron links, and
Yeah.
it says 5 gold.
It's not even worth arguing about it, so I'll just give 5 gold.
You give it to the guy, the kid, and he says,
And I'll give him 1 silver for the tip.
"Ooh." The little gnome kid runs off. Thank you. And he runs back to the thing. You guys
I
go to
I should have got some hot rod painted on him.
Hey, guys, just out of curiosity, why don't we force them to accept the queen, Nona Viggal? And even if they fight about it or they, give us a hard time, that's always an option. We could just go look for her at Firebrook, bring her here, and then force them to accept her as queen.
We know anything about her.
Delian, you gain
Would she want
inspiration
to be
for
queen?
taking an assertive position. As the
Oh, okay.
cardinal.
I have inspiration anyway, but that's cool.
Yes, but I mean, you're starting. That was kind of your insight. Is like, I mean, you are the fucking cardinal, man. Think about
That
medieval
would
times and how
cause-
powerful the church and the pope, the popistry or whatever it's called. You have a lot of power, Delian.
Okay,
Yourself.
so let's just do that.
Delia,
Why are we
cost
why are we
too
messing
much.
around with this nonsense?
Delia, that would cause too much strife in the city.
But
Royals
it's
It's
try
just
to
the
control
noble
her.
houses.
it would be good for you because you can purify the land of evil humans, right? Your entire purpose is to eliminate evil people, right?
DM, can I roll a d20?
What do you want to do?
Rule 3 has gain a letter. Gain
Yeah,
a word.
sure. Go ahead, buddy.
See if he gains it.
As the lost code tries to reconfigure itself. Nope, not yet.
I was thinking go for it like 10 or below, nothing.
What is?
Not gonna
Let's try to get Anto involved a little more. What is Anto thinking about? The mercenaries have always kind of served the throne and the crown under the Great War. Anto, you look around. There's like no guards.
None at all. Nothing.
Like, really, like there's no guards really around. Like this city is basically being held by like hope.
Rubber bands.
Wow. Did you
Rubber
guys
bands.
kill all the guards?
Rubber bands
That's
and
right.
duct tape.
No,
I
we didn't
might-
kill none of the guards. Delia, on the other hand,
I might have accidentally burned some. Sorry.
you burned 3 guards and a noble.
Ish. You're a little
But you-
devil.
But you can replace them with your own mercenary friends, right?
If
And
I
we
can
could-
get in contact with them, but I don't think they will listen to me.
Yeah, we could install. Well, I'm sure they'll listen to gold. We can install the
True.
queen on the throne and
You-
give you a lot of gold.
What are you talking about? The city barely has any gold under its name.
We can tax the nobles.
You can't tax the nobles. They won't listen to that. They're the one doing the taxing.
No, but if we tax the nobles and we appoint new nobles, I'm sure it'll be fun. It's messy, but it'll be fun.
I think you would be better off doing my idea, just making a contract with Ulimar to bring in more Iron Knights.
Well, that'll cost money too. But anyway, I think messy is better. I think Messy's
I
gonna
think
be
it's
fun.
more money, more about materials. Bring in all the scrap you can.
Messy is fun, and then we could, and you could do whatever we could do whatever we want.
I think it's better if you guys just give these people an ultimatum and that's it.
Yeah, just make the new queen the queen.
Fuck tradition.
OX3 is following Delia, so he has no objection. What about Soar and Accident?
Thor is headed with this tradition over what's good for the kingdom, so he's mostly on Delian's side with this. It's just he wants to go see the other noble. Maybe he'll be worth it.
Orion, Accident.
I'm concerned about how long it's going to take to find her and what's going to happen while we're gone.
In the Deepwood Vale, now that the elves have left, the fairies have kind of stepped in guiding the woods. And my sister leads the council that controls the woods. If my sister can handle those responsibilities, I see no reason why a noblewoman couldn't handle the responsibilities here.
All right, so in short, Delia's new queen.
Sorry. Yeah, let's go get the new queen. What's her
It'll take
name?
too much time finding her. We'll just appoint your ass with time.
Nona Viggal. Nona Viggal.
You go back to
You
your
want
place.
you want me to be queen? Really?
The extermination of
You're
all
cardinal.
humans.
You probably have more power than most of us. You could probably just say you're going to do that.
Okay, that would be interesting, but I'm not sure if that's a wise decision, but certainly it would be
It's
interesting.
not wise, but it's a band-aid.
So what are we doing? So
All right, so I guess we have to go see Grimmings because you wanted to check him out anyway. We're already there, so
Yeah.
you can check
I
him
thought
out
we were going to
soon,
go track down the noblewoman too.
Yeah.
Aren't we making her queen, or were they talking about making you queen?
I think we're gonna try to look for her. That was my original idea, but then somebody decided we'll try to make me queen. I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird, but okay. I mean, it doesn't matter. We have to decide on something.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought we were talking about making them noblewoman queen. But if you want to, as a player, I don't care.
Sore, it's perfect. It's just
I think-
confusing as a 14-year-old girl would be.
Yeah.
And the question is like, what do you guys want to do? It doesn't really matter one way or the other. We could just pursue. We need to make a decision though. Yeah,
Hey, we're already
I
at-
don't mind.
We're already at Grimming, so we might as well hear him out. And if
Yep.
he's just like all the rest, we'll look at the noble woman and just say fuck their tradition.
we still need a figurehead.
I
while
can
we
be the
search
temporary
for
figurehead.
The new
That's
queen.
fine. I could be the temporary figurehead, I guess. I'll be like,
Accident
Well,
is
If we
What
could
would
get
you get?
this older noble to act as regent or as steward to the noble lady, then we probably could make that work.
Nice fucking house.
he's religious as all hell, so I think you might. I'm not sure.
all
be more for the
the
people.
noble property is now the property of all the people. Anybody can take whatever they want.
This city will be the city of bandits.
Sora, you
Yeah.
kind of look around though, like the city a little bit too, and Orion is here too. There's a lot of refugees here. A lot of people have traveled to Stormbrook now that it's a free city. A lot of different faces. Some of the Azrai have returned here. Different races, creeds, religions have all meshed into Stormbrook. It's become sort of a melting pot in a way of different cultures. Hope has come back, but the fighting men, a lot of them have been killed.
So what I'm hearing is if we mixed up their traditions a bit, with all these refugees, not everyone would just say no, because they all come from different places. So yeah, we need to look at appoint queen. Probably just the easiest thing to do. Instead of
First and
messing with all
foremost,
these
let's talk
nobles.
to this noble first. We need to figure out while we look for the queen. We can't leave them with no leader while we
Yeah.
search.
You guys enter into Gremmings' house, correct? I put out just some like models of a noble's house, which kind of looks cool, right?
Yes.
But it's just, we're still in theater of the mind, right, guys? We go into the noble Grimming's house. Hello. I'm doing the voice accident. You know the voice. Hello.
Hello.
Sounds like a grung.
Cardinal, you're here.
Yes, we are here to investigate the succession issue since Thomas Viggal is now passed on.
Oh, what happened?
Well, during the battle, he was cursed by the vampires and was destroyed.
I saw him scaling the walls like a madman.
Yeah, we tried to save him, but he died, unfortunately.
Oh, that's so sad to hear, Cardinal. As he kind of foes empathy with you, as you almost showed no empathy in his death.
Vampire spawn exterminated.
So,
so we're
what do
trying
we
to
plan
put together
do?
a council. We're trying to put together a council of regents, and my personal preference would be to install the last surviving Viggal, Nona Viggal, onto the throne. If you'll support me, then I think it'll be easier to do that, even if it's a woman. Does it really matter at this point? It's been total chaos anyway.
Well, yes, the kings have been dropping like flies.
Okay.
But serving a queen? The last I heard, Nona Viggal had escaped. She had traveled east.
If you absolutely need a king, I mean, we could just label her king, or I don't know, use magic to change her gender, but it seems kind of silly, doesn't it?
Magic to change her gender?
Why not?
Excuse me, Cardinal, and I see you have a fairy with you. Maybe you possess such magic. Is this true?
Sure. Right, Orion? You can do that if you really needed to.
Things could be arranged if it was really necessary, but is it really necessary?
Very necessary. I will not swear fealty to a queen.
It's the same person. The only thing that is different. Oh, God.
It's our tradition. I'm sorry.
I guess we do the strange thing. I guess I don't know.
Well, what do you
We have to just do the strange thing. Then we'll just
You know
do
what I
it,
think?
then.
I think we should just chop off all the nobles, put her in the throne, and have her appoint new nobles. I think that's the easiest way to go. This is taking too long.
Taking too long on D&D? Those things are like peas in a pod.
Please just order Ox to exterminate the nobles. You want to.
Yeah, let's get rid of all the nobles and just appoint new nobles with the new queen. I think that's easier.
Are you saying this out loud?
Well, I'll say it after this meeting. I'll say it after this meeting.
He's saying out of character. That's what you're trying to say.
Actually, I wouldn't mind saying it out loud either, but it's kind of silly. It just causes more problems. If you're not going to swear fealty to a queen, I could always appoint a queen and just remove all of the nobility and start over. Would that be better?
Why can't I be king?
Because it's apparent that too many of you have desired the kingship too much. We need to appoint somebody who doesn't want it, and somebody who's more willing to sacrifice themselves for the people.
Well, yes, it's a pity that Thomas died. He had such high, fancy ideas like you, but all of his ideas were a pipe dream, and now he's dead.
Well, maybe his sister can fulfill those dreams, and we can work with that. We could always appoint new nobles, too. I mean, it's already the Dark... What was the name? Dark?
We are the last two noble houses of Stormbrook.
In fact, I'm going
But
to...
we wouldn't have to do much to get rid of you.
Yeah, I'm going to assign the... Dark Guard.
And you can leave my house right now, you... He says to Sora.
I'm going to assign the Dark Guard nobility and houses and estates to Orion. You can have it.
Under what authority?
Under the authority as the Cardinal.
So you assume power here?
Sure. Orion is now the new Dark Guard, head of the Dark Guard noble house.
We'll give it to OX, according to use to kill people.
I will see what the people have to think about this.
I'm
Gets
sure
on
the
a-
people would
gets
be
on a
more than
jacket.
happy, because Orion will give half the assets of the nobility of Darkguard to the bread and the necessary materials for the people. I think they'll be very, very happy. Right, Orion?
Gremmons gets his jacket on.
I will do better than that. I will set up an establishment where the people can work and earn wages and food.
Little
See, there you
social
go.
program. Little social welfare.
Very social program.
Gremmings gets on like his jacket. He has some furs, and he kind of gets up a huff, and he leaves his manor and heads towards somewhere. He leaves. He goes somewhere.
How is this getting worse?
Anto, we're gonna need to call your mercenaries. So, if you have any mercenaries, where are the Dark Knights you were talking about? Those Iron Knights?
Iron Knights. Request.
Where would we get them?
We must go to Ulimar's shop. Make contract.
How many are there?
Probably expensive.
Numbers unknown. Can be rebuilt using older models.
You're
So
worth at least 100 men.
Bunch of Terminators. Okay. That sounds like a recipe for something bad happening. But
Yeah, when he learns his third priority, and then all of a sudden the others do as well. And now Stormbrook's even more of a mess.
Yeah, so
Orders
Anto, I think
can be
Anto's
given.
So Anto, you got some mercenary friends, right? We can call them, and they can serve as the King's Guard or the Queen's Guard.
Well, I mean, like I said, my group is the Shields mercenaries, and they're just a bunch of goblins. Are you fine with that?
Yeah, goblins, hobgoblins. What difference does it make? So long as they can do the guard duty.
They're messy. That's one thing.
Everybody's messy.
Yeah, that's a good point, yes. Well, get ready to cough up some gold. And by that, I mean a lot.
Yeah. So we'll have to move quickly. We'll have to find the Queen, get the mercenaries, and then appoint proper people into the position. What do I need to do? Like write some edicts or something?
I believe so.
14-year-old girl asks how to govern a land.
Yeah, 'cause I need to write some edicts, right? Something saying basically assigning the lands of Darkguard to Orion. I'll do that quickly first.
And then as a lord of the land, I can support any other edicts you wish to present.
Yeah, and then I'll appoint Orion as the temporary, as the chief regent of the land until we get the queen assigned.
Awesome.
Why does this girl have
Somehow
much
I just
power?
became temporary king.
The
So
Fairy King.
we have the fairy king of the
I am
new...
the fairy mage king.
So do we start calling you King now instead of
Well, you have to say your grace, probably your grace or something. But
My liege.
I'm doing a 7 deadly sins thing. We're just gonna
so
call him
assign
King.
2 edicts. One assigning Orion the fairy lord, the lands and the estates of Darkguard, and then
Okay.
the second edict will assign him as chief regent until we find Donna Viggal and assign her as queen. And a third edict allowing Orion to replace or uplift any nobles that we need to support the queendom.
Okay.
That one is going to really ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, and
So let's
Civil War.
think
and
about
a fourth
this,
edict
what's
to
happening.
get goblin mercenaries from Anto.
So you
Anto
don't
has
want
some
to go.
goblin
You don't want to
mercenaries?
recruit the Iron Knights.
Maybe later. We don't have any money. We have to steal money.
Well, that's the thing. You don't have to pay them. That's the contract.
Exodus,
we
what do you
have to
think about
pay?
this plan? It sounds like they want to try
No,
to put
the
a lion
contract
in
is
power
pretty
now.
much supply materials to the Iron Knight creations.
I mean, my whole
sorry.
original plan is fucking, it's fucked. So I don't know.
you don't want to be king, so you don't get the choice now.
No. It's just Thomas was like perfect, and then go to his cell, and he's actually a total fucking knob.
Well, I think it's still pretty good, right? You get the queen, you got the fairy regent, which is cool because I think fairy regents could be cool. That's what a 14-year-old girl
Orion
thinks.
I'm good with Ryan being the figurehead, though. I like that.
Yeah, and then we assign new nobles. We just replace all the nobles with nobles that really deserve it, right? Simple.
There is no good noble. Power corrupts.
No, we just assign guys that are.
Ox gets it.
Hey, I'm lawful good. I believe people are good.
Lawful neutral. He knows everyone's not good. As long as they have flesh, they are corruptible.
What are we doing here? Basically.
So I did the edicts in succession, and I sent it to all the criers as quickly as possible.
You send out some edicts to the criers. The crier says that the one guy, Gremmings, is in the town square protesting that the cardinal showed up to his house and is making false claims about Orion, this strange fairy, asserting power.
Yeah, Orion's family was alive when the elves and men were still allies. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not.
Do you wish to go to the town square and sort of debate against the noble houses show up, I'm saying, to the town square, and you gather the people, right?
Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll debate. We'll say, so what have these nobles done for you? You're hungry, you're sad, you're depressed. And Orion has a great plan to restore some of that wealth to you.
You look out into a sea of peasant dirty faces, I guess, but all different shapes and sizes, half-orcs, bred from the Great War, and humans mostly, but also Azrai are out there too as well. Orion, displaced by the Great War. How it'll work is we're going to do a skill challenge, and this will conclude tonight, I'm guessing. Delian has these proclamations that determines basically how the people are swayed as the nobles are making their own claims and so on, whether some house will take over or Delian's fact of Orion taking over essentially. And it sounds to me like Delian's case is he wants Nona to be queen, and Orion will serve as a regent power of some kind until Nona is found and brought back to Stormbrook.
Yep.
Correct.
And so I'm gonna toss 100 gold into the crowd to persuade them to this speech.
Okay, hold on. Couldn't I just can we just make it a lot simpler? Just OX, just kill the old man.
What old?
He's the last descendant.
If you kill him, the
kin.
people are just gonna think you're a tyrant. That's kind of silly. Just perpetuates the problem.
These are peasants. Sore knows they follow what the ruler says.
I was
follow, but.
I was going to cast a suggestion to make them listen.
You think like Orion, you look at Ox, he's thinking just like a murder hobo would.
Yeah, or you can cast
someone has to be the murder hobo. Might as well be me.
I can't do mass suggestion, but I can do a suggestion on the nobles to get them to fall into line.
So you're trying to cast magic on the crowd or something like that?
No. On the two head nobles that are there arguing against this, or the one that's arguing against this. That's a 17 wisdom save.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at the spell.
Oh.
It requires a verbal component of suggestion. So it requires magic to be spoken. So you're going to, people here are not totally ignorant of what's happening. You're looking into the crowd, and people are going to see you cast magic onto the nobles.
Are they going to know what magic is and all of that?
Maybe not.
Because I was going to do it literally as a suggestion. You should listen to Delia. She is
hide
trying.
It with your voice.
Exactly. Well, I'm making a suggestion. She is only doing what is best for the realm. She's trying to help the people so that they can have decent lives under the protection of the city, under the kingdom. If you care about the kingdom, you will follow and agree with her and make this happen so that the rightful queen can be put into place.
If not,
I like it.
Yeah, so there you go.
I will make 2 saving throws with these guys. But the crowd or people might notice. Right?
So be it.
Okay, there we go.
You
Saving
see, he's
throw.
a fairy. He's small. How would they notice? But all right.
He has to hold out
They
like a
barely
honey.
see me.
He's holding out a piece of honeycomb. He's talking kind of strange.
Can I use my arcane focus so that I don't need any materials?
Yeah, then you're holding your arcane focus. It
Right. Well,
requires a material component.
right here. Holding it.
Yeah, I mean, you look kind of funny doing it.
Oh, it looks like my hand's over my heart.
We can make a sleight of hand roll,
Okay.
but we'll first of all let's make the saving throws.
Let's make the saving throws.
Let's say so. It's DC 17.
Correct.
There we go. Wisdom, right, or charisma?
Wisdom.
Here we go. One of the nobles is like, "Yes, we should. We should do this. This makes a lot of sense. What do you say? We could make a new king here." The other noble is like, "What the dagnabbit is going on here? This fairy is casting magic. I knew it. He's working with the cardinal. They're trying to persuade the outcome." He talks to the crowd this way. So, Delian, you throw 100 gold pieces into the crowd to try to persuade the crowd.
Yep.
You would have had advantage on the first roll, but as Orion fumbles it, as one of the nobles passes the save, the advantage is canceled out. So we have to do a skill challenge, just like I kind of said, but one of the nobles saves, so that fails. But nice try, Orion. It would have worked actually too, I think. It would have worked even better if you would have did it before.
You know
before
what,
we got to
Ox?
this point.
You know what, Ox? I turned to Ox and I'm like, you know what? Let's just
Murder
replace
Hobo
the
time?
current nobility.
Well, that's what we're talking about. You're in the town square. There is a sea of crowd of people looking at you guys as we're doing this. We have to do a skill challenge if you wish to have your to be persuading the crowd. Really, that's what we're doing.
So what's the
Delian.
skill?
So you need to do a persuasion.
It's persuasion. Delian rolls persuasion. He's already been guided, I think, too, as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to use inspiration.
So the first
what-
one you
what
get
does that mean?
advantage, and so basically we make opposing persuasion rolls to the crowd.
Okay.
Delian,
So
well,
I
hold
get
on.
2 rolls.
So yeah, you have 2 rolls,
Oh.
but I'm going to roll one at a time to kind of make it more suspenseful, buddy. So you rolled a 14 on the
sorry.
first one. So I have to. It's a challenge against their persuasion roll, as they're trying to convince
Sure.
the crowd that we must not break the traditions, and one of us must be crowned king, and which house gets it, it's told to be random. So I'm going to
Sure.
roll the persuasion roll for the first one. You roll a 14, they beat you by 1, right? But you said you roll with advantage, right?
Yes. So
You
the
roll a
23 on
23.
this.
You feel inspired. How do you convince the crowd? What do you say to the crowd to convince them that Nona
Yeah, just say,
Vigil
aren't
should
you
be a king?
tired? Aren't you tired of living from day to day, poor, not sure about the leadership, people getting killed, monsters, running amok? It's time for some stability, right? And some of the wealth coming back to you, and certainly we can provide that.
Make another
Also, don't
persuasion
forget-
roll.
Don't forget
Right,
to
this
mention
is the
about your
second.
god.
The skill challenge is 3 rolls. So the second roll, Delian, I roll a 20.
Oh, you roll so well.
Not really. They're just good at persuasion.
24.
You pass.
Nice.
So you pass, so that you win. It's best of 3. So Delian, the crowd is persuaded by your language and your saying, and the crowd is like, "Yes, it's time for a change. The orcs are gone, and the cardinal is right. Nona should be queen," and they agree. They also let Orion claim the house, the noble house, I guess, as the
Yep.
the man is stripped of
Awesome.
his nobility, I guess. The other guy, I guess, has his nobility still, and so you guys have a noble house here, right?
Great. We'll ship the other novices later anyway. So
Let's make one final roll. Delian's trying to
Okay.
locate Nona Vigil, perhaps to locate and find her somehow. To roll the scrying roll, it's challenging because you don't have like a locket of hair of hers or a piece of thing, but you go to your house where you actually have a mirror. I'm going to say you have the mirror. The mirror is expensive, Delian. Right?
Okay.
But it's
It's
given.
1,000 gold.
Yeah, it's expensive, man. But you have it. And I think I just need to make a saving throw, and then there's a modifier applied to it, correct?
Yeah.
To actually find her, right? So I'm going to make a roll with her. You know of her, you've heard of her, you have seen her, so you know her, right? The saving throw is versus your spell save DC, correct?
Yeah.
And then there's adjustments if you have the things, right, of her. What's your spell save DC?
17.
Okay. She rolls a 15, which means that you successfully locate her. You see her,
Cool.
the picture of her is there. You kind of back away in the mirror, and you see her zoomed out. She's like in hiding somewhere in Shirebrook. She must be hiding with the nobility there as well. Actually, let's make it interesting.
Is that Shirebrook or Firebrook? I got
Shirebrook.
Shirebrook.
Okay.
It's the larger city east of here. Let's make it interesting. We did play a game earlier today that was in Shirebrook with the haunted house thing. The player said it had been freed, but we don't know the fate of Nona really. Delian rolls a d20. The higher he rolls, the better. Or condition, state.
I've been rolling okay, but lately, I don't know. I don't trust my rolls.
You know, things like that, right? As this is kind of political pawn type stuff.
19.
She's in the control of, we'll say, the clergy. Like, she fled to the clergies so she's within your church, and you could easily send out a message of some kind to have her brought back to Stormbrook, right?
Oh, easy enough.
Right?
Yeah. Write another edict.
The power of good rolls.
Well, what we'll do is that's kind of where we'll leave on today's game. And I'm assuming we'll maybe have a downtime session next game, or you guys can do whatever you want. As Nona Viggal we'll do a coronation, right? Or something like that for Nona Viggal, if that's what you guys want to do for the first maybe half hour of next game, and then go from there.
Yeah.
Awesome job, guys.
It would have been fun if Saint Exodus became the king, but too bad.
It would have been awesome, but he's kind of, he doesn't like that responsibility, right, Exodus?
Not about the responsibility. It's about the.
I'll write another sub edict about Anto and his
awesome
meanderings about little women.
Yeah.
Please beware of
this. OX3 is pretty much much between you and him.
Please beware of the sexual predatory nature of
I already gave the alarm. Sexual predator detected.
So what I'll do, guys, with this model right here of this house is I will make a new map or whatever, right? A slab or whatever. And this will be your guys' house home base if you want it to be one of your home bases in Stormbrook.
Awesome.
Right?
Oh, great.
Because,
cool.
well, I mean, unless, you want to have like Delian has her own house. It's not as great as the noble house here, but it is what it is, Delian.
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, we can use this as a base. That'll work.
Cool. Did you guys have fun?
Yes.
So, what did you
As
think?
much as I could.
Anto, did you enjoy yourself, or is this your last game? Did you fuck this?
I enjoyed it.
Cool, man.
Sweating because I thought it was going to be my first and my character's last session alive.
I was not going to kill your character right for seeing her naked. Well, I was thinking about it, but I'm not going to do that to you yet.
When an iron giant stands behind me in the bar with glowing eyes, I don't know. I don't know.
I was look. I'm tempted on killing your character, but I'm not going to kill your character on the first session. Maybe the second session, definitely the third session, but not on the first one.
I get some leeway. Okay.
What do you guys want?
Allegations.
What do you guys want to call your house?
What is it called? It was the Dark Guard or something?
Yeah, it was House Gremmings. It was the last guy you met.
How about House of Steel?
But what do you guys want to call it?
I'll say it, the House of Steel.
No.
The steel of our blades are pretty much the steel of our blades been pretty much what been facing our enemies so far. But since the fairy's the so-called owner of the house, I think he's got the final say, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
All right, so everyone give me their ideas, and I'll pick the best one by next week.
The Lion Fairy.
I say the House of Steel. That's
a good inn name for the Lying Fairy.
What do you think, Sora? What it should be called?
The House of Otun sounds nice.
Of what?
The Otun is the god of season. I think they died in the Great War.
Who died in the Great War?
The god of seasons, Votun.
Okay. Wasn't aware of that.
It's a goddess, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, technically, it's Orion's house, so you can sort of name it whatever you want, right? It could be like
No,
the
but I'm
ranch.
open to if we're using it as a staging ground for operations.
Okay, well, okay, you could call it the man cave for all you know. Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
We'll see. Like I said, if you guys have ideas, shoot me a message in Discord, and we'll figure it out by next week. We don't have to decide tonight.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
I'm gonna go to bed. I will
See you
see
later,
you guys
Excellent.
next week.
Rest up,
Good
buddy.
night.
Yeah.
And Azul is
Thank-
here next week too, guys. Remember that as well. And he's still.
So he's
around.
so.
back, right?
Oh, by the way, about him, are we gonna kill him or what?
We're gonna-
Well,
They're
we
gonna
wait till
convert it.
nighttime.
I mean,
to,
with
transfer
the
him.
because
yeah, we're
if
gonna
his
do the
body's
ritual.
still intact, I can revive him.
He's already turned
mean,
into a vampire.
The
How
last
you
guy
gonna
turned
revive
into
him?
ash.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
it's hard
saying.
to revive dust.
Well,
It's do or die in this next ritual.
I mean, if we have a resurrection, we could just turn him into
You-
dust and then resurrect him. But
You would need like a true resurrection, wouldn't you?
that's what
At
I'm
that
saying.
point?
Yeah.
all I got,
I mean,
all
you
I
have to
got is
basically-
revivify. That's all I got.
But I got a question. The vampires are considered undead creatures, right? Like
That's
dead
correct.
creatures.
Absolutely.
What happens if you just revivify on a vampire? Would it like turn into a human? Like
No.
alive?
No.
Turn alive?
He actually would have to be killed first and then the spell cast, and not sure it's going to work, especially when the ritual didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, I have a raised dead, but it doesn't make any difference because in the end, it's already dead and turned, so we have to use some other method. So
I know whenever we go see that Genie King, I'm gonna ask him why we couldn't call Soul back from whatever plane that was coming from.
yeah, I mean, we could. We have to do the ceremony. What the hell? I mean, maybe it'll work on Azul, even if it didn't work on the other person, right? What do you think? Or we could just burn him.
I think we should try to give him a chance. That spell one more try though, because
Yeah.
we were close. It just something just pulled his soul away and just started numbing on him like a fucking Cookie Monster.
I have
And maybe
Right.
because Thomas was a vampire longer than that was maybe the cause, and he was just recently transformed.
well, fortunately, being 5th, 9th level allows 5th level spells. That includes raised dead. So, whatever you guys think about.
Well, I don't have raised dead. All I have is revivify, and I can
Maybe greater restoration. I don't know if that really does anything.
no. I
Greater
could bestow
restoration.
curse on him.
Greater restoration. Greater
Because
restoration.
I'm already
removes-
tempted on bestowing a curse on Anto.
Ah. What was that?
Greater restoration would.
I can
remove
bestow a
major
curse on somebody.
I curse you not to actually die when you die.
I
I'm
could.
thinking
I-
of cursing him with the
Well, I could commune
that's just
with
too
I could
horrible
commune
for a
with my
person.
deity to get 3 questions that we can ask the deity, and then find out the answers.
DM. Can I curse him with the curse of impotency?
You can do whatever you want.